7 o'clock, right on the nose, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like it's going to be a pretty nice day, warm and humid. Well, maybe a thunderstorm possible, but they always say that. But I think that's not until like 9 or 10 o'clock tonight.
You were so funny yesterday. You came in and you looked at the weather and you said, there's supposed to be rain, but it's only for about 10 minutes, so screw that shit.
Well, that's what it was. It was like 10 minutes yesterday, wasn't it? Did it ever come? Did it ever happen?
Yes. Yesterday, I don't feel like it ever rained.
I was outside almost all day yesterday and didn't get a drop on me.
I know. I don't know why they keep saying it's going to rain when it's not going to rain, the lying bastards. I blame KB3, Ken Barlow.
Go for him.
I blame you,
We're coming
Barlow.
after you, Ken.
Coming after you, man.
I mean, I made it rain at the King of Diamonds, but other
Did
than
ya?
that...
Okay.
At noon on a Wednesday.
I've been there noon on a Wednesday, okay? Don't judge.
I believe
King
it.
of Diamonds even open anymore?
Oh, they know me there. I am the
Is that the
norm
one
of
up
King of Diamonds.
On Highway 10?
It's the one down in Invergrove Heights.
Yeah. I was thinking about the one on Highway 10 because that didn't look like it was open the last time I drove by. I'll tell you that.
I'm trying to think of the one on Highway 10 you're thinking about.
It used to be called the King of Diamonds.
King of Diamonds. Okay.
It was, yeah.
I'll be danged. What do you know?
But I think it's been closed for years.
Sure.
I'm thinking. I don't know. I'm not a big titty bar guy. You want to go to titty bars, that's your business or whatever. I'm not judging anybody. It's just not for me.
Yeah.
I remember I went on a trip with some friends. So anyway, I had to cough there.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it wasn't, nothing came out.
But the boys wanted to go to the titty bar up there in northern Wisconsin. And I'm sitting there, and I was like, a naked woman, good. So I get to do nothing, and I don't want to do anything, so why am I here? I still never understood that part.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, this person puts their hand on my shoulder.
Sure you love that.
And I look up, and this fully naked woman is touching my shoulder. And I didn't mean to do this, but I am touchy about being touched by people I don't know.
Especially surprise touched. You're not somebody I'd be like,
right.
"Ah!"
Right. She surprise touched me.
It's like, I hug you all the time, and you're not like, ugh.
Oh, I do it all the time behind your back. I go, oh, God.
Sneer.
Sneering. I sneer behind your back.
It's fine.
It's just wonderful. God, you cheered up. I was just talking to, what's your name
You
again?
yelled at me to cheer up.
I did. I said,
And
cheer
I said,
the F
show
up,
me your
both of you.
titties. And so I was, before we went on air, because I was like, he wants me to be more talkative.
I just didn't button the top, but,
Yeah,
one of those
give
deals.
Mama what she wants.
I'm
not in a bad mood.
I'm not saying you are. You're just a typical morning show person in radio. 99% of them, you walk in, and they're all pouty as a son of a
I
bitch.
wasn't pouting
you
at
were. You were
all.
like,
Okay, that's it. I'm turning tomorrow. Do I have full permission to turn my phone on and record our interaction?
No.
It's nothing.
You're out of the mix.
I'm literally, and then you're like, well, and I'm responding. I'm talking.
You're out of the mix. That's all I'm saying.
What is the mix? Do I want to be in the mix?
No, you don't. You absolutely do not want to be in the mix. There's no question. Let's see. Is there anything really important to talk about? So they got that deal through the House. Now they're going to put it through the Senate. And will they stop with the just in the nick of time, he raised his shoulder from the mat so he wasn't pinned? It's like all-star wrestling.
It really is.
It's hilarious.
I have far more exciting thing that I've already touched.
Oh, good.
I have that already touched on from you.
All right.
You were on Garage Logic yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
And I listened.
They were phenomenal.
You guys were having a blast.
They were. Well, Joe, way, way, way back, was the only media person in this town to support me. When they said I was this and I was, you're a this and you're that. And you did. Look, I'm not a member of your candy-ass club, whatever that is. That group of people in Minnesota that they're supposed to be all giving and, I'm all understanding. You're the meanest people I have ever, and that includes New York, Philadelphia, Boston, the supposedly mean Chicago. There's a group of Minnesotans that are meaner than any place I've ever been.
And it feels like it's kind of, like you said, it's in all cities, but it's people that don't do. They just wait for other people to do anything and just make a decision if it's right or wrong in their minds.
Well, Joe stepped up all those years ago. He said, that never happened. That's not true in the least.
I know. And
That was very nice of him.
I know. And keep in mind, you're saying that I was so grumpy this morning, and I already talked to you about how I thought you did great on Garage Logic.
I said you're a pain in the ass. I didn't say you were grumpy.
So I was so upset and angry at him when I was telling him how great I did. You did.
How great I did.
I meant to say you.
Okay.
So I thought it was so interesting. So on this episode, he's talking about you guys were in this fight about something. You were coming after him on air and all this stuff.
It's like 35 years ago.
Which is amazing. It was so fun to listen to you guys talk about that. And then it's true, he goes, and then when they came after you, I was one of the people that said that's not true.
That's a fact.
Like, I might be fighting with Tom Barnard, but he doesn't hate a certain race. He doesn't hate a certain... And I just...
None of that.
No, none of that. And I had such a blast listening to that. You guys sounded
He's
great. You guys,
that whole show.
Yeah, but I'm a monster. I could never compliment you. I never say
You're
did anything
beyond
great.
monstrous.
You did great yesterday.
You're
Good job.
horrible.
Was it fun to be around him?
No, it was great. It was a really, really good time. And just being in that building is a whole different experience because, like I said, I walked in that building as an 18-year-old many, many years ago. So every time I walk into it, because I haven't been in that building in years now. I can't remember. It was at least 15 years since I'd been in that building.
Yeah.
So walking in, it's like all those memories come flooding back about the first time I walked down that hallway that you walked down to get to Joe's studio. I remember that's the first hallway I walked down when I came to work for them. Well, not that hallway, but the one connecting the building, because I don't think that part of the building was built yet.
No.
Yeah. Either that, there was definitely not the connector.
Yeah,
hallway.
right. Mm-hmm. So it was the other side of that whole deal, but I remember walking in there as an 18-year-old. Guy got the job, blah, 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 and it was just running the Jesus tapes on Sunday. You know,
we were very proud of you.
Which, by the way, I ran backwards and didn't know it because it was supposed to be the Polish hour.
Yeah.
And I literally thought it was in Polish. I'm not making that up, by the way.
You being a smartass?
No, I'm being an 18-year-old boy, and I thought that I didn't know it was Tails Out at the time. I never even heard of Tails Out, which is, you would take a piece of tape from an old, tape deck. That's how everything was done back then. What the hell is that? I hate that.
You bleeding out?
No, it's something.
Mystery
Boogers.
Liquid?
Yeah, it was a booger. Exactly.
The kids were here yesterday, so.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Sage was here leaving boogers behind. God, was he excited to be here.
Sage was here.
Christ. God, he was fired up. But anyway, so, just walking in that hallway, and you guys, both work there.
I always feel underdressed no matter what I'm wearing there because it's such an
Snazzy.
iconic building. Yeah, it always feels like I should be in like a full pantsuit blazer. I'll head there today, and I'll always feel like I'm the little kid.
Why are you going over there again today?
I'm on My Talk 3 to 6 today and tomorrow.
Why don't you concentrate on this show? What about that action?
I don't concentrate on any show.
That's what I'm saying.
I've ever been
That's
on.
exactly what I'm saying. Typical.
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 Yeah, it was so fun listening to you. You sounded great, and you guys sounded like
That's
you're having a
very
blast.
nice
The conversation was so interesting to me. I texted Rookie, too. I was like, this is such great.
Rookie's a great guy.
Yeah, they're
He was
great.
pissed off at me, too, a few years back. I don't remember what it was about. But great people, really. Every damn one of them, all four of them, just really, really nice people. Had a great time.
Kenny, the traffic kitty, was there.
Yep. Everybody was there. There's no doubt about it. So,
Yeah.
it was very, very pleasant, really, really nice. And, God, I've known Sushi for 37 years already.
That's wild.
My God, it's older than you are. I've known
It's
him longer
actually
than you've been alive.
It's spot on my age.
Yeah.
I know you guys think I'm 22.
No, I
but
thought
I'm
you were
actually,
52.
I'm actually 30.
I went the other way.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, I'm not one normally to say go listen, but to another show. But God darn it, that was a fun listen.
They did a really nice job. They did indeed. So I want to thank Joe again. He's always been very, very. He's been very even keel and very. Hey, if it is, it is, and he's not going to argue against it. Doesn't matter if he's pissed off at you or not. The truth is the truth, which I really admire about him.
Yeah, well, you both have that in common. If you're, I've heard you literally fighting with somebody, and then the media goes after them, and if you don't feel like that's true, you'll say something.
Yeah, I don't need that. The lying media thing is really over the top, now, particularly on a national level. My God, the media lies nonstop.
Well, you never realize it until something is written about you.
That's true.
Yeah, that's probably true.
That's when you
That's probably
realize
true. Yep.
that media is a bunch of crap. Because I remember when I lived in La Crosse, Wisconsin, we did radio there. We had a huge show. Everywhere we went, people knew us. It was great.
Yeah.
And then one day, Maxim magazine did an article about the station and about La Crosse, Wisconsin, and 3/4 of the article was total bullshit. They totally screwed everything up. They actually quoted, they said, as we talked to a man from this certain bar that we all used to hang out at, and they drop him by a first name, and we know that guy, and they said, he calls La Crosse Little Las Vegas.
What?
And I was like, Mike, did you really call La Crosse Little Las Vegas? He's like, I've never called this place Little Las Vegas. What the hell are you talking about?
What?
And I'm
Little Las Vegas.
I will never forget that. I'm like, oh, that was the first time I went, oh, these guys have no idea what they're doing, and they just print it and have. It wasn't like there was a retraction.
Nope.
They just printed it and then just moved on with their lives.
Oh no, being on Tom's shows.
Oh God.
Once it's like happens in like every 4 years or something. All of a sudden, some young buck reporter will decide that they'll take something out of context from the show, or they'll just grab a quote from the show. They won't even listen enough to get anyone's name. So, like, the second male voice said, it's such lazy reporting.
It is. It's horrible.
And it's inaccurate. And all of a sudden, they used to screw up me and Candace's name, or they'd call me Michelle Tafoya said this. And it was like, this is the laziest reporting and I just go, this whole thing is nuts. And then they'll grab clips from another thing, and it's just like, this is wild. The thing it can't be legal.
No, it's a horrible thing, as a matter of fact. We talked about that at length, about the people. I talked to Garrison Keillor twice yesterday, too, about this whole situation, and he got burned to the ground. They ended his career, too.
Jeez, how did you contact him? By carrier pigeon? Where the hell is
Because they've been friends for a long time.
Yeah, how did you contact him? I thought he was so off the grid, living in a cabin down by the lake.
I got his phone number here if you want.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do, yeah. Garrison's actually a great guy.
Seems like it.
Because were you friends with him before all that went down?
No.
That's what I thought.
No, I was not. We became
friends. You reached out.
Well, because I've been through it, and then he's going through it, and I don't know what happened. He just does not seem like kind of guy's going to come up and grab your tit. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I just don't see that. I don't know. It's just people, and the funny thing about it is, that's why I cannot stand the far right nor the far left. Far right's supposed to be all religious. Doesn't that mean they should be nice to you?
Oh, well,
and the far left is so progressive. Shouldn't they be nice to you too?
Yeah.
Well, what happened?
They both are. Yeah, they're both.
They're
scared.
Horrible people.
I'm terrified of both groups.
You should be.
I'm terrified of both groups. I'm even scared of this conversation. I go.
Oh yeah.
Because there's nothing more judgmental on both sides, and we've talked about this so many times. That's why it's a circle. It's a circle. When you go far right or far left, you end up with the same people.
Well, yeah, they used to talk about that. They meet at the top.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They make a big circle and they meet at the top, and they're the same people. They're horrible people who are miserable with their own unsuccessful lives, and now everybody's got to pay.
Yeah, get a hobby.
They hate that, and that's what this is all about, by the way. Brittany, you know this. As a woman succeeding in Minnesota, you've been gandered at. What's her deal?
This is success.
No, I didn't say you were successful. I said you were trying to be successful.
Okay, cool.
It's a huge difference.
I just think it's funny. I also remember back during the pandemic was when all of us were not busy, and because of that, some of the most vile things I've seen and thought. All of a sudden, I cared who had what shot in their body and who had what mask.
Right.
All of a sudden I realized, when you're not busy or don't have a lot going on, you care about things that you normally don't.
Yeah.
And I had to get back to you want to do whatever? Okay, cool. Love that. As long as you're not hurting anybody.
Right.
You should put that on your wall. You should wear that outfit. You should have sex with that guy. Like, whatever. But man, when we were all really bored at our house, all of a sudden I found myself being like, well, how did they get this shot? Did they wear this mask? Did they, what are they, are they going to the mall? How dare they? And I'm like, who? When? Ugh.
Now, I have to ask you a question. It's a different deal because it's a public figure deal. I understand that. But in your regular life, I hate this person. Oh, my God, we got to destroy them and we got to do that. Look, first of all, if you try to destroy people through the media, you are the biggest candy-ass loser. Why don't you stand toe-to-toe to somebody and tell them, I don't like you and I don't like what you do?
Yeah.
Why don't you do that? That's what I do. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, there was a book. I can't remember what it was called, but basically in the book they talk about how there's no more problems left where we live. And that's why we create problems, because our brains are problem solvers. And if it's not doing its job, it has to create problems. So when you go to a place like a third world country, you know, you go to places where there's no running water, overpopulation, corruption. Those people don't know what a pronoun is. They don't worry about Bud Light and who's going to be promoting them, because they have actual real world problems where we don't have that here.
Right.
We basically sit in air conditioning 365 days a year. It never gets hotter than 72, and it never gets colder than 72.
That's right.
So we have to create problems so that our brains feel like it is being productive.
Why wouldn't you, instead of creating problems, try to make everybody's life better?
You would think.
I don't get that.
You would think.
You know, like I said, well, I'll give you an example of why I am in such a good mood, and I get here, and crab ass over here to my right ruined my good mood.
Who immediately complimented you from Garage Logic, but you're right. I was so crabby when you came in.
I just said, you look like the Crypt Keeper. That's all I said. It was not negative
That's
at all.
just because I'm wearing black and I'm so white.
You're not white. You got a little tan going.
All right.
Don't you think?
It might just be the lighting.
Yeah, I think it's just the lighting.
I thought I was talking to Casper when I walked in today.
I loved Casper when I was a little boy. Man, did I love Casper.
I avoid the sun so bad. I wouldn't be shocked if this is translucent.
You were not translucent. You got a nice tan going there, or the beginnings of one anyway.
Thanks.
It's not a problem at all. Yeah, so anyway, I'll give you an example of why. I got to be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen. I have a magnificent life. I'm married to a woman I adore. I have children. I have grandchildren. I have friends. I got coworkers. So yesterday I do the show, then I do the family show, then I go over and do Joe Souchere's show with all the great people on that show. Had a wonderful time doing that. Then I talked to Garrison Keillor a couple of times, and then I ran into Marky Rosen at dinner.
Really?
He's getting married in September.
Oh, wow.
So what have I got to bitch about? Right?
Yeah,
I mean, I ran into all these wonderfully nice people. I ran into several listeners. And by the way, I don't know what happened or whatever, but I'm having a lot of guys in like their 30s and early 40s coming up and saying, hey, Tom, love the show. So all of a sudden, why would that happen out of nowhere? All of a sudden, that young men and women, there are a lot of women too, actually, all of a sudden started listening. Because, well, first of all, I suppose because of the billboard. Although everybody on the billboard thinks that's my brother, Tony. They don't think it's me on the billboards. They think it's Tony, my brother. So there you go.
I think those 30-year-old guys are into super pale chicks who dress like Wednesday Addams.
That's what I'm thinking.
And
that's what I'm thinking.
That's why they're very
And hey,
gravitating towards Brittany.
I'm somebody's niche.
There's your proof right there, brother.
I love that for me.
all I
I'm
have to
nobody's porn, okay? You know when you're talking about all these different categories, nobody's searching that. So if they're into that,
Explain something to me. So why do people want to destroy other people, be so incredibly mean, lie their ass off to do it? How do you get in that position in your head that you want to destroy somebody just because they succeeded and you didn't? I don't get that.
Yeah.
I don't know, right? I think
Be happy for Christ's sake.
What I noticed when I was on your show for so long is that it was always a young reporter was like, I am going to prove something with these articles, with an article on you.
Didn't work though, you bastard.
No, and I wish you luck. I wish them. It's so funny. Like,
no, you're right.
I don't care. You go whatever. But I think they think you're going to be an easy target because.
Oh yeah, because
some consensus was ruled of.
Because
you think this way or that way.
I will tell you why it started. Because I didn't go the route they did. And therefore, they're pissed off about it. That I became successful. I went to college for one day. I never finished high school. I tested out when I was 16 years old. And they don't like that.
Yeah.
They don't like somebody who didn't go their route to succeed. I took a different route. I succeeded, thank God. But I didn't go their route, so I'm a bad guy.
Yeah.
Because I proved basically, for me, not for you, but for me, college would have been a huge waste of time.
Yeah, wasn't for you.
But why is that a problem? That's for me, not for you. You do what you want to do.
I don't know, because, it's that same thought of they're not busy enough. I have
that's probably true.
A really lame example, and I don't know if sharing it. I remember during the pandemic or when I don't have a lot going on, I used to get really pissed at Justin if he was late for dinner.
Oh, yeah.
Like, really mad.
Yeah.
I would make it, if he wasn't home by 6 o'clock, I'd get really mad. And I kind of had to look at myself and go, I don't think you have enough going on, Brittany.
Yeah.
Like, if they, and it was really, that was my hyper focus because it was either during when I was on maternity leave or pandemic, and I was relying. I wanted to be mad about something, or what things weren't going well in my life, or wasn't doing enough. I like being busy. I like keep going.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I was like, okay, this is a Brittany thing. Like, this is, why am I outwardly mad about something that's so stupid? Like, we can eat whenever. 6 o'clock does not matter. And I'm putting stress on him. I'm putting stress on me. And it was really like, I need to do, and so I joined a tennis league. I picked up more classes for school. I, picked up a side job, things like that. And all of a sudden, this problem is not a problem anymore because it was a me thing. And so that's the only example I can give in my mind is like, I was mad, but it was because I didn't have enough going on in my own life that I was hyper-focused on something really stupid.
That goes back to your brain creating problems. And also the other thing, expectations of others.
Yeah.
That's another big one. That'll trip you up every time. When you expect something out of somebody and they don't meet it.
The mind reading.
That is the biggest one. I expected you to be here at 3 o'clock. Every time I date somebody and they go, hey, I'm running like 45 minutes late, I'll be there as soon as I can, I always think, thank God, that's another 45 minutes I get to me so I can work on my stuff instead of being like, how dare you take 45 minutes of my time away?
Right?
Yeah.
No, that is true. Everybody just calm down. And I'll give you an example. And Brittany and I did look this up, so apparently it did happen. The McDonald's across from St. Louis Park High School, there was a brawl there last night. Can I just go in and get some fries and a burger without you guys slashing my throat? You're fighting. First of all, it's in St. Louis Park, which is not exactly rough and tumble.
Yeah, right.
If you know what I mean.
St. Louis Park.
Yeah.
You're in the middle of the ghetto. You're in St. Louis Park.
How dare you scratch my Tesla?
Right? Let's get froyo after.
But I guess there's big video of it. Did you see the video?
No.
I have not watched it yet, but I guess they're at this McDonald's. I've been there a billion times. Jeff Passolt and, all the Siegel brothers went to school right across the street from that McDonald's over at St. Louis Park. I love that area. And it happened like 10 or 12 hours ago, something like that. So it happened about 7 o'clock last night, something like that. Bunch of guys go in there and they get in a fist fight in McDonald's. And I didn't look at the whole video, but just a couple of seconds of it. They were brawling, baby. Ooh, now, you have to wonder, of course, if all that stuff is real, but it sure looks like it.
Yeah. Right? It looks real. I'm watching it now.
Oh, you looking at it?
Yeah.
Are they going at it as hard as it looked like? Because I didn't watch it for very long.
Oh, no. Okay. It's dramatic filming. It's two.
It's dramatic.
It's
filming.
two girls fighting.
Oh, two girls fighting.
I don't
what
even know
a
if this
shock.
is. Who knows if this is actually the footage from there? Sometimes they do clickbait.
Well, wait a minute. Yeah, it looks like it. I mean, if it's not a McDonald's, it sure as hell looks like one.
I know. That's why I go, I don't know. I hope this is the real video. But
well, the cops did show up, so.
But you can see it's actually just two girls fighting with a dramatic camera running around.
It looks like they're standing on a table filming.
Yeah. It seems.
Well, there's more than two people fighting. There's a lot of people fighting in that picture.
I think they're trying to pull it apart.
Jesus, Palomino. What's wrong with you women? All you guys ever do is slugfest now.
I've actually seen more giant women fight.
Oh, I know.
Than I've ever seen men fight.
You're absolutely right.
And one was in the drive-through of McDonald's. They jumped this girl, these like big group of girls. And the other one was when I was driving. It was the Kentucky Derby, and I went to a party downtown Minneapolis, and it was in the middle of the day, and there was a big fight on the street right behind my car in the middle of the street. Like 6 girls attacking like one girl. It was wild.
I mean, it's just terrible.
I've never. 2 times in it was these big, and it's less popular now. But man, there was, I think it was like 5 or 6 years ago. That was huge. Is the girls jumping girls?
Yeah,
it was wild.
Weren't used to that.
Yeah.
No question about that. So we'll, as we move on through life, you just have to understand. One of these days, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to run for mayor, but I don't know what town. It's got to be a good town. And I'm going to run for mayor. And if you get in fistfights in my town, I'll go, oh, yeah, Lucy. You won't see her around here no more.
Lucy.
What movie was that from? Oh, Bill? Yeah, you won't see him around here no more.
Just expedite them. They're gone.
They just disappear.
Yeah. It's like right out of the city border, too. There's like a whole town of brawlers.
Just everybody disappears.
Right? That's funny.
God, it'd be wonderful. Yeah, everybody, you need to calm the hell down. Relax with all this fist fights and all the rest of it. Calm down and live your life. Be happy, for Christ's sake. First of all, once you get off your ass, that'd be helpful, right? Go get a job. Give you something to do.
Yeah.
And then what I would have done this morning, because it's what I did do, on the way in this morning, I was listening to My Talk's morning show.
107.1, where talk is fun.
107.1, where talk is fun, except for when Brittany's on.
Except when I'm on, where talk is depressing.
Where talk really is a waste of time. It's unbelievable.
Listen to 3 to 6 today.
3 to 6 today, too. My God, what a waste of my life. But what the hell was I just going to talk about?
You were going to talk about that clip that you heard on My Talk Morning Show.
Oh, yeah, they were playing a clip this morning of Johnny Carson. Remember the great Karnak?
Sure.
Yeah.
I love the great Karnak.
Guess the thing in the card, right?
Yes, he would.
Yeah.
He'd always give the answer before he could see the question.
Yeah.
He'd be like, things that are
which I
sticky,
love.
and then he'd have some, yeah.
So he holds the card up to his head, and Carson goes, on top of Old Smoky, on top of Old, and then of course Ed McMahon would go, on top of Old Smoky, which I loved because then Carson looked at him like, would you shut up, for Christ's
Just
sake?
dramatic.
2 3/4 stars. Yeah, thanks, bud. Appreciate that.
Exactly. So he goes, on top of Old Smoky. And Ed goes, on top of Old Smoky. What did Yogi Bear find when he got home that night? His wife on top of Old Smoky.
Oh, that's so funny.
You got Yogi Bear, you got Old Smoky, who's a bear. What's the name of what's the name of the forest fire bear again?
Oh, yeah, Smokey the Bear.
Yeah,
it was Smokey the Bear.
Yeah.
So it was
Only
on top
you
of Old
can
Smoky.
prevent forest fires. Yeah.
On top of Old Smoky.
That's so cute. Like, Jason does a good job. He cuts up those clips and he does a bunch of prep. You and him would bond over nostalgia. He
I love that stuff.
loves nostalgia.
I do. I love that stuff. We have to take a break. Got a bunch of stuff coming up. Should be a hell of a show this morning. By the way, Jamie Kennedy got a really nice response yesterday from listeners, from what I understand. I haven't seen it, but they said it was really good.
Absolutely. And he reached out to me yesterday and just said, hey, thank you so much for having me on. I would love to come back anytime. Hopefully we can make it work when I'm in town. And please give Brittany and Tom my best.
No, great guy.
It blew my mind when he knew my name. When he said on air, he's like, listen, Brittany. I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Mm-hmm. I told him your name was Quitney, but he didn't listen to me.
He misunderstood you.
He misunderstood when I said Quitney.
But that's shocking. People don't realize,
No, it's
like,
great.
that's because he did a
Very
bajillion
nice.
interviews, I'm sure, that day. And that's sweet of him.
Quite pleasant, no question. We got to keep that thing rolling. We've had great guests on lately, though. We really have.
Good job, Rudy.
Well, just when you thought it couldn't get any better, Mike Lindell. And before I do that, Rudy, speaking and at your convenience or whatever, but I invited all 4 of the guys from Garage Logic to come on this show someday.
Great. Yeah.
Come in and actually sit in here and do the show. So once you guys figure out what works for you, because it'll work for me anytime. So just make sure it fits your schedule and we'll get it booked. And
That'd be so fun.
you will have a ball.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I love those guys.
My favorite thing about Sushi Ray is the way he looks at me is like, what the hell is wrong with you?
He does that stare. I love his
that.
voice. His voice and
Sushi
your
Ray's
voice
great.
together was just iconic.
No, Sushi Ray's a great guy. No question. Because he's the no BS guy.
Oh, yeah.
He's not going to lie to you and tell, hey, you know what? That's really great of you. No, it's not. You're a pain in the ass.
When somebody went on a tangent on his show, too, it reminded me of you. He goes, are you done? Okay. I was like, relatable.
I love that so much. But yeah, we'll get them all 4 on.
Sure.
They're really nice people. Well, just when you thought it couldn't get any better, Mike Lindell and MyPillow are launching the MyPillow 2.0. When Mike invented MyPillow, it had everything you could ever want in a pillow. Now, nearly 20 years later, he discovered a new technology makes MyPillow even better. The MyPillow 2.0 has the patented adjustable fill of the original MyPillow, and now with a brand new fabric that is made with a temperature-regulating thread, the MyPillow 2.0 is the softest, smoothest, and coolest pillow you will ever own. Say goodbye to tossing and turning and flipping your pillow over in the middle of the night. And more great news on the MyPillow 2.0 buy one, get one free offer with promo code TOM. MyPillow 2.0 with its temperature-regulating technology is 100% made in the USA, comes with a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. Just go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio podcast square to receive the MyPillow 2.0 buy one, get one free offer. Just when you thought MyPillow couldn't get any better, MyPillow 2.0 gives you the best pillow ever. Enter promo code TOM or call 800-516-5146 to get your MyPillow 2.0s right now.
When you need someone to listen, a lawyer you know and trust.
If you've never been in an auto accident, it's hard to know what to expect from the insurance adjuster. Here are some tips. 1, if they talk to you about whether or not you should hire a lawyer, it's a good sign that you probably should. 2, it's illegal for them to give you any legal advice. They aren't lawyers, and they aren't licensed to practice law. 3, if they tell you that everyone involved in the accident is at fault, they're wrong. This comes from the belief that you're at fault for just being on the road. That's nonsense and not supported by any law. Finally, remember that friendly adjusters are often just gaining information. They want you to do most of the talking so they can file their report. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. I hope you're never injured in a collision. But if you are, don't sign anything until you've talked to us.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
Ready, set, summer. Hi, Judd Zulgad here. You know, the unofficial start of summer, well, it's here. Whether you're heading to the beach, the ballpark, or a barbecue, summer is more fun when you are feeling your best. Let Livia Weight Control Centers help you make the most of our beautiful summer days. Join Livia's doctor-recommended program today and get 8 weeks free. That's right, 8 weeks for free. You could lose up to 15 pounds or more by the 4th of July. I lost 40 pounds on this program a couple of years back, and I'm going to tell you the most important thing. The dietitians and nutritionists at Livia are going to help you maintain weight loss. We've all lost weight, right? Inevitably, it feels like it comes back. Not with this program. It has done right by me, and I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to do right by you. Summertime is here, and Livia wants you to make the most of it. Call 855-GO-LIVEA or visit LiviaLIVEA.com. Join today and get 8 weeks for free. Again, 15 pounds or more lost by the 4th of July. Are you kidding me? Call 855-GO-LIVEA. Livia voted Minnesota's best weight loss program 2 years in a row. Check them out to lose the weight.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. A little news, a little information. Weather, first of all, warm and humid with a thunderstorm possible tonight, about 9 o'clock they're talking about, I guess, with a low of a 70 tonight. But that's interesting. It's going to be 91 today.
I love that.
Man. Friday, hot and humid with a few thunderstorms possible again. 90 degrees for a high. Saturday, hot and humid, 90 again. On Sunday, mostly sunny with a high of 88 degrees. It is sunny and 72 right now. So it appears that summer is here, right?
Summer is here.
When the overnight is like 73.
Yeah.
Man, I go to let the dog out. It's 5 a.m. and I'm like, why am I sweating?
Hotter than the sun bitch out here, man.
I love it.
All right, I have to do something that's going to be very, very painful. Oh, you know what? I'm going to wait 2 more minutes until Kristyn comes on, and then I got to tell you something because of the angle at which I sit on this show.
You want to bring her on now? We can. She's ready to roll.
Oh, if she's ready to roll, that'd be great. That'd be wonderful. KB2 is with us, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
So, Kristyn, you know, we've talked about this kind of thing before, but I'm sitting at the end of this table, and to my right is Brittany.
Hello.
Right? And as I look at Brittany, I look up, and there's a monitor right above her head that shows it rolls through. Like you can see where it says Barnard right over her head there, morning show. It scrolls through like that. And I'm going to say this, and Kristyn, you need to back me up on this, as the only other woman on the show right now. Most people, when they put their hair back in, what would you call that? Your hair? It's not in a bun.
I tried for a ballerina bun, but it keeps falling out.
So it is a bun.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know it's called a bun. You're one of the very few people I've ever met that actually looks good with that hairstyle. I hate being that honest. I mean,
That's
geez,
so sweet
I
of
got to
you.
go home. Honest to God, I might throw up now because I was way too nice.
That's
She's
No,
got
but I
a good
look over-
hairline. Like
Yeah.
the forehead.
Yeah, she got a
like
good
the
hairline.
ratio to hair and forehead is good.
Thanks, guys.
Because I looked up and you have long hair in the
Yeah.
in the one on the monitor.
Yeah.
And I looked at you and went, you know what? I don't want to tell you where it is, but there is a woman that wears that hairstyle every day, and I see her every day because I go in that building every day. Because of that hairstyle, she looks just like olive oil from Popeye.
She's got the aggressive.
Yeah.
Popeye!
Not a 5 head like I do. When you have a really big forehead.
You
like,
do have a
pulled all the
5
way
head.
Back, it's aggressive. Yeah, it's aggressive.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. I feel good about myself today. I'm going to kill it today.
I didn't mean to do that.
You guys,
You can go home and tell your husband, my hair to forehead ratio.
Justin,
It's really good.
going to want to hit this today is what I'm going to say. And he's going to say, I'm busy, actually.
Yeah, your eyebrows are
We're gonna put it
crooked,
in
but your hair
HR
looks great.
notes.
Yes. Yes.
My eyebrows have their own
I have
thing
a
going
question.
on.
Do you think men and women are getting better looking as time goes by?
Yes.
Absolutely.
I do too.
Yeah.
I really do. Because you see so many good looking people now. And what's that all about?
I also think clothes has been more complimentary to
you
both
think?
men and women, but man, especially women. Even when I was pregnant, my mom showed me photos back when she was pregnant, and they pretty much wore drapes, just giant drapes around
Right,
their bodies, and they
right.
looked insane. And even like when I think back to like as a kiddo, people's moms were just wearing just things that would just cover their body, and now people wear leggings and in nice shapes, and I think clothes have made a huge difference.
Yeah,
on people.
probably.
Well,
You know
even
what else I noticed is that the kids don't go through that awkward stage as much. Like
Mm-hmm.
I went through like the braces and the frizzy hair, and my niece, my friend's daughter, at 14, they're looking not awkward. They look normal going through puberty. I did not have that.
yeah, and all of our jobs, we're not out in the sun all the time. We're not
Yeah.
swinging hammers
Yeah,
like we
that's
used to.
true.
It's all indoors. And to bring it back to something like Minnesota, when my grandfather duck hunted back in like the 60s, those guys basically had canvas,
Yeah.
like small, like it was almost like an army jacket that they hunted in.
Yep.
Now everything is Gore-Tex,
Yeah.
waterproof. They have heaters in your feet, so your hands aren't really out in the elements like
Yeah.
they used to. So yeah, absolutely. You look at guys that are like 73 and they look like they are in pristine condition.
What do you think of that action?
I think you're right. I think everyone's getting hotter.
Skincare. If you follow TikTok, people are using like all of this, like besides sunblock, they're using like tretinoin, all those like anti-wrinkle things at 20. They're going to look like babies by the time they're 80.
I suppose it's true. But yeah, I just wanted to point that out that, it's people are getting better looking, I guess, as time goes by. So you think that's true?
Yeah, I was so worried that I was going to because I had a baby a little bit later in life, that I wasn't going to be able to be a MILF. But now I think I'm still going to be able to accomplish that. And that's really what's important in life.
You just went with MILF on the show. Did you hear that,
I just
Kristyn?
stared at your face after.
Well,
Did
if
you
you
hear
look at
that?
Robert De Niro and Al Pacino, they are DILFs at 79
Are
and 82
they?
having babies.
Are they
So-
DILFs? Do we really want to have sex with that? Because I do not. And I'm pissed off that they're having kids that old.
He looks
There are
terrible.
plenty of women that are obviously sleeping with them, and it is wild.
Just one fertile one, which is so annoying.
One fertile one?
Ugh.
Okay, well, that's good.
You
Glad to
don't
hear
have
it.
a kid when you're 80.
I would have to agree, yes.
That child is not going to have. It just pisses me
You
off.
won't be there for, like all the major milestones for that child, which is sad.
On your 17th birthday, Dad's 100.
What the actual hell?
Yeah.
What the actual hell? Am I insane? That seems cruel.
Oh, yeah, you're insane.
Yeah.
Doesn't it feel like they do the same thing? Like Robert De Niro, like always have like the same type of career.
Yep.
And it's like
Yep.
now we're one-upping each other on the personal lives.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't understand having a child. I think it's very, very irresponsible. I really do. Because by the time that kid's 10 years old, you're going to be 93 if you're still alive.
Yeah.
How's that kid going to relate to you as a 10-year-old?
I'm going to throw the old football around. Let me just get my assistant because I am obviously not going to go do that. Like
You know
that.
what I would do, though? I would definitely. If I were 17 and my dad was 100, I'd go to him and go, hey, Dad, I just found that picture of you and Abraham Lincoln. Honest to God. It's like, how long you been around? Because to a 17-year-old, that's eternity.
Here's the thing, too. Think
Man.
of all the special things you get because you're around your grandkids.
I love it.
None of
Love
that's
it,
going to
love
happen
it.
for this kid. This
Yeah, it's
kid is
true.
not going to get, we sat and thought so long about the fact that Justin is 42 and having a kiddo. And we're like, okay, yes, whatever. So the fact that you're 80, having a kid.
83 even.
83. Pisses me off.
I
I don't know
agree.
why.
It's
It
irresponsible.
angers me. It's irresponsible.
It absolutely is. And by the way, how's his juice still working anyway at 83? How the hell did that happen?
Don't even get me started on that. As a woman, just the idea that, oh, I had a baby. Bop, bop, bop.
No
Punch him.
big deal.
Oh. This is angry. I just, ugh.
The little blue pill that was covered by health insurance.
Right? Oh.
Right.
We got to find somebody who does it.
Maybe we try and get anything else covered by women's reproductive care covered by health insurance.
Do you know anybody that does a great Al Pacino impression?
Yeah, actually, a couple of them, yeah.
Oh, we got to get him to record some bark like a dog. You know, some sexual things in his voice.
Or just like, child, like, this is how you swaddle a baby.
Yeah.
The baby is in my arms. You know, I talked to a couple of people. I was actually at a party once. And what was the name of that Whitey Bulger's hitman? Kevin Weeks.
I don't know.
Kevin Weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, he was on the show many, many times. But he was a murderer, you know. That's what he did for a living. And we were talking about different things like that very thing. Mm-hmm. And he did not find it funny when I made fun of like Al Pacino and Robert De Niro.
Why not?
Because they're always mafia guys. And the real mafia guys don't like it when you make fun of the fake mafia guys.
Yeah.
Really?
Isn't that weird?
It's like being made.
Yeah.
Once you've played a mobster in a movie and it's done well, like you're almost like you're made like Sinatra. He was like one of the only people that was not in the mob that could walk around with a mob ring.
Yeah.
And they totally were okay with it.
That's
yeah.
right. Mm-hmm. Frank Sinatra. Jesus. Did you ever see him live?
No.
Phenomenal. He was unbelievable. Well, he played the Super Bowl here, and was that 91, I think it was?
Really?
The
I didn't
Super
know
Bowl's
that.
yeah, and Sinatra came to town. He's got a... You know what he used to say that I loved? I never met him, or I never even talked to him, so I just heard this from other people. If anybody was nice to him on the street, like a little kid would run up and go, "Oh, Mr. Sinatra, could I have your autograph?" And he'd go, "Sure, kid." And he'd sign an autograph, and he'd look at his buddy, and he'd go, "Hey, Duke that kid 100.
Really?
Instead of give him 100, he'd always go, "Duke him 100.
Duke him 100.
Yeah, that's what he would always say. So the kid would get $100 just for saying Frank Sinatra's a nice guy.
Yeah, there's a really good.
That's so cool.
There's a book called Sinatra Treasures, and it's all these like great stories about Frank. And in the book, they talk about one of his last shows. I think it's like a second to last show. He was on like song 6 and had forgotten the lyrics.
Oh.
And he stopped the show, and it got quiet in the auditorium. Sold out room, the theater, 3,000 people. And he stopped it, and he was like, "Are you gonna have to give me a second? I'm trying to remember the lyrics, and I don't want to use a sheet because I feel like at that point then I would be done. So give me a moment." And it's dead silent. And some guy yelled out, "It's okay, Frank." And he went, "Thank you." And he kind of like welled up, like, wow, I deserve that moment for me to just be old for a second, you know? Yeah.
Yep. Frankie Sinatra. Hell of a talent, man.
The
Great
best.
actor, too, by the way. He's a really good actor.
Yeah.
That's
So, what the hell?
that's such a sweet story.
It's a good story, much like the ones that KB2 tells every morning on the show.
Every single morning.
Non-stop. That's all I have to say.
Just filled with stories.
I should mention to you, by the way, that I went on another local podcast in town, Joe Souchere, legend in the Minneapolis-St. Paul market. You probably remember Joe Souchere from when you lived here, I would think. Souchere and Royce. But you all got great compliments on that show. A lot of it was behind the scenes, so I said, don't say that on the air because I'll have to put up with it. No, but they did. They were very complimentary of everyone on this show. So I wanted you to know that as well. So there you go.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So, Hollywood, writer's strike. What the hell is going on?
Yeah, it's like, man, we are in week 5. I mean, we are solidly in week 5. There's no negotiations going on. Like nobody is sitting together and saying, how can we make this end? And it's interesting because behind the scenes, we've seen some reports from Variety and Hollywood Reporter that the message of the writers is starting to get to the producers. So hopefully that is something that will bring them to the table. Directors Guild's currently in negotiations. June 7th, negotiations start with the Screen Actors Guild. And 100% actors are ready to strike. I think the Directors Guild will strike if they need to. They're not, they don't strike very often. The last strike happened in 1987 with them. But if they do, all 3 guilds at the same time, it will be like the biggest Hollywood labor strike they've ever seen. And I would hope that would end it very quickly. I mean, if not, second, either the Screen Actors Guild or the Directors Guild go on strike, all of Hollywood is completely shut down.
Yep.
And understand, we are a 2-note town. We're tourism and we're Hollywood. And when Hollywood shuts down, everything suffers. Restaurants, dry cleaners, grocery stores, everything.
I got my SAG ballot last night, as a matter of fact. I haven't done it yet, but I got it last night when I got home. I saw.
I voted last week.
You
You
voted
can do it
that.
online. It's really fast.
You said, I'm not voting for your strike. Forget it.
I did vote for a strike.
Of course you did. Why would you? First of all, you got no option, to tell you the truth. I will tell you that. But yeah, I haven't voted yet. I literally just got it when I got home last night. And that's the other thing. Here's what I love about Catherine so much. Alex, our daughter, and her husband, Dan, wanted to go play like 9 holes last night. I said, well, that's nice. That's good. But I've had a rather busy day, so could we make it? Yeah, no problem. I got home last night at like 9:20, and I'm like, I couldn't even eat dinner last night because I cannot eat after about 7:30 if I'm going to go to bed at like 10 o'clock. Otherwise, I can't sleep. So they're chowing down like a sumbitch. They're having drinks. They're eating. I'm sitting there with a glass of water, for Christ's sake. That's a thrill, isn't it? What? Hey, this is fun.
Let me just have a flavorless water.
I'd like another martini, please. Yeah, okay, Catherine. Pipe down. What do you think of that? You two, I'm not kidding you. Kristyn, and can you imagine Kristyn and Catherine out boozing it up one night on the town?
I'm like one drink in, and I'm like lit. So
yeah, so is Catherine. Same story.
Yeah, I'm a lightweight.
Same
so hopefully
situation.
you're driving. I don't know.
Oh my God, it is true, no doubt about it. So Catherine and I are very happy because following your lead, we now have 5 30-minute shows to watch because every show now is like 55 minutes long. So to find half an hour ones is really a thrill because sometimes you just I don't want to sit there for an hour some days and watch television. Finding those half hour, and none of them are dramas, they're all comedies.
That's nice.
So which is good.
Nice and light, which is good.
Yeah. Yep.
Last
exactly.
night, Rudy, I'm dying to ask you this. Have you watched, it's on Max, Smartless on the Road, which is Jason Bateman, Will Arnett, and who am I missing?
You're
Sean.
Sean.
Oh, I can't
Connery?
think of
Hayes.
Yeah, there
Sean
you go.
Hayes,
Yeah.
thank you. Sean Hayes' podcast that they took on the road and then they made it a documentary. Have you watched it at all?
I haven't, but I do find those 3 guys to be some of the most interesting people that are doing podcasts today.
Interesting and all, I watched the first episode and I will tell you, I go, when people complain about Hollywood, I think that this is what they're complaining about.
Oh.
When they complain about like the elitists and things like that, they're like, I don't think I should order the surf and turf. Yet they're on a private jet because they were afraid that the surf and turf would look too elitist.
Oh, I know. That's Hollywood. That's Hollywood.
Yeah, I almost felt like because I've listened to their podcast on and off. I listened to it a ton during the pandemic. Lately, I've kind of hopped off of it because I feel like the structure that they had, it's getting a little too loose now almost, and that they're kind of losing the focus of who they're interviewing. Oh. And the premise is they bring on one of their famous A-list friends. The other 2 have no idea who it's going to be. So then they dive into the hour and they're like, and today's guest is George Clooney. So they're doing the same thing on the road, but I almost feel like they've been friends for like 25 years and you get a peek at what their lives are like, but I'm almost like, wow, you guys have been in a Hollywood bubble for a really long time and make a lot of money. Mm-hmm. And it almost just looks too elitist.
Yeah, when Kevin Smith was having that run of all those great movies that were coming out, and then he made a movie, I think it was called Walrus, with Justin Long. He basically was like, the reason why that movie sucked is because I haven't had to worry about an electric bill in 20 years. When I was making good movies, it's because I was struggling, and I have to go back to that. So basically, I think he just went out and like bought a shack in the middle of nowhere and was like, all right, figure it out. You have to drive yourself to the grocery store. You have to be able to get your own supplies. No more assistant. Put the phone away. No more laptop. And I think right after that, I can't remember the movie that he put out, but it was like another hit movie because he went back to what he knew, Because, yeah, you're right. Some of these guys, they just live that hoity-toity lifestyle. And you're like, man, you have so disconnected from where you started.
No, like even Jason Bateman, who has been obviously a child actor, extremely successful. I mean, kind of fell off a little bit in his early 20s, but then, kind of found his grounding with Arrested Development. I sit there and I'm watching him and he is like the dry salad guy, the guy that doesn't want to have like any sort of like fattening thing on his salad. And I'm like, you have disordered eating. Oh my gosh. Like you have an eating disorder from Hollywood and you don't even know it because and Sean Hayes is like the junk food guy. And so which is funny. But at the same time, he just sits there and starts criticizing Sean, like, how can you not eat a salad? We just need to eat a light salad. If you go on stage, how can you be full? Oh, I was like, I can't even watch The Eating Disorder. It's crazy.
So now, what has Sean Hayes been in? I've heard the name, but I can't picture him.
Will and Grace was the big.
Oh, I hated that show. No, I didn't. It was a good show. Oh, Sean Hayes is the gay.
Yeah.
Gay guy. Oh, yeah, he is good.
Yeah, he's very
he
He's
does a
on
good job.
Broadway right now doing a show that he will probably win a Tony for. He's supposedly fantastic. So
Wait a minute. I just said the young gay guy. They're all young gay guys on that show, aren't they? I think.
well, now they're all like men in their 50s. So.
Well, now, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
You know, it was a different. Yeah, that was a good show actually. We really enjoyed that show.
Yeah, I think the first time around it really like hit right away, just hit with the pop culture. The revival didn't feel as fresh.
I agree.
When they did it, but
really good casting though. The casting in that show was really good.
Unbelievable.
Speaking of Jason Bateman, Tom, you remember Justine Bateman?
Oh, absolutely.
She had a picture of her come out like 4 months ago, and somebody was like, "Ooh, Justine Bateman looks old," and she's like, "Yeah, because I'm in my 60s. This is what I'm supposed to look like." And I'm really hoping that one of these days she decides to give acting a run again, because she was so good back in the 80s. Good. Yeah.
Yep.
She's done some smaller projects. I know that she's like out there, but she hasn't done anything major. And, you know, and I love her because she's just like, I'm not doing the Botox. I'm not doing the plastic surgery like everybody else. And we've become so accustomed to the Botox face, especially in Los Angeles, there's no lie, that we don't know what a normal face looks like. We do not know what a 60-year-old's face looks like out here.
Oh, what's his name that keeps having facial surgery? The guy got in a motorcycle accident. What the hell's his name? Damn it! You know exactly who I'm talking about, but I can't.
Motorcycle accident.
He got a motorcycle accident and cut his face all up, and he's had 9,000 surgeries.
Is it Gary Busey? You're not saying
Gary Busey's one of them.
Yeah.
There are two of them. There's Gary Busey, and then there's another one. Yeah, Gary doesn't think all that clearly anymore, does he?
No, he's had some major brain trauma.
That's what I've heard.
And he actually did Dancing with the Stars a few years back. A good friend of mine was partnered with him, and she said having him remember choreography, he would forget it within 2 minutes. Like his short-term memory is completely shot. It was sad. She said he's such a sweet guy.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
However, his brain injury, like if something triggers something, he can kind of snap. And that's why I think he's had some issues maybe with the paparazzi and things like that. If he's triggered by something, it all goes back to his brain injury.
That's very, very sad. All right, just talking to you for 12 minutes, now I have brain damage. Thank you.
No, I just want to know who the other guy is that got into the motorcycle accident.
Not Jay Leno.
No, it wasn't Jay Leno. I
think
cannot
who got
remember.
Car accidents.
He's in.
And has had tons of surgery.
He played the wrestler.
I was saying Mickey Rourke.
Mickey Rourke.
Yeah.
That's exactly
yeah.
what it is. That's exactly who it is. Mickey Rourke.
Unrecognizable, from his former face.
It's sad. Why would you do that? He was a handsome guy.
If you look at Sylvester Stallone, he does not look like his former face either. If you really put us side by side,
true.
there's a lot of people you go, oh, Al Pacino is another one. His face is different.
It's 83
and I
years old.
understand, like doing a light refresh, it happens. But if you're unrecognizable, it's or you get body dysmorphia and keep doing it. You know.
We're on vacation last about 6 months ago, something like that, somewhere in there. Nah, not even that long. 4 or 5 months ago. And Alex is walking along the beach, and here comes Sylvester Stallone coming the other way, right? So as she walks past him, what did he do? He looks at my daughter and goes, "Hey, how you doing?" So apparently that's not an act. Yeah. Apparently that's who he is.
That's
funny. Like a classic Rocky moment. That's amazing.
It was a classic Rocky.
That's
hey,
awesome.
How you doing? Oh, she didn't mention that to you? I thought she would have told you that. Oh, yeah. Ask her about meeting
I love that.
Sylvester
I think it's
Stallone.
weird, though, that he has a reality show on
Yes.
Paramount Plus. They're really trying to launch their 3 daughters, little Nepo babies. His daughters are gorgeous. And they're really trying to launch them in Hollywood. And they've been trying for a long time. They did like the Golden Globe ambassadors, where they handed out the awards one year. But they really just, I don't know what they're doing outside of that. Like, I think they're trying to give them like a Kim Kardashian type of career. But I'm like, nothing's really sticking. And I feel like hey, let's have a family reality show feels so 2007.
Yeah, no interest. I'm like their demographic, right? And I've seen this, they shove it in every commercial and every show I watch, and I have just I have no interest. Nope.
Same here. None. I didn't even, and I'm offered screener copies of everything, and I didn't even bother. I was like, nah.
Yeah.
I just feel like and his daughters are so gorgeous, and I'm like,
that's fine.
I'm sure someone will put them in a movie.
Yeah.
Come on.
I'm not trying to, and I think it's kind of what you were talking about is I'm not that interested in their life. I don't find them that interesting. Just because you're beautiful and your dad is, a famous actor, that's kind of like this thing with Smartless. I like actually listening to people that are a little more open and vulnerable and aren't scared about saying stuff. I like normal people, which I know it's disgusting.
All right, all you get the hell off the show right now.
I just want to tell Britt one thing because she will appreciate this
tonight. Here we go.
Wait. I'm going to the Stars on Mars premiere party tonight, which is the new William Shatner show. I know we talked about it.
I love him.
I'm going to see him tonight, but it's premiering June 4th on Fox. But that means I will have a Tom Schwartz sighting. So,
one more reunion to go.
One more reunion to go for Vanderpump Rules, and then Tom. Hopefully, we can put this to bed just for a little bit
till next season.
I'm really going to miss it.
You're so sad. Until I go to There's Something About Her sandwich shop, which is opening soon. So
there you go. All right, we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Kristyn Burtt, KB2, as she's known on the show. We'll take a break. Be right back in a couple of minutes. More of the show coming up next.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Listen live at tombernardshow.com or on the Tom Barnard Show app.
Tom Barnard here. Are you ready for some throttle therapy? Cruise the water in luxury on a brand new Bennington pontoon from Power Lodge. Enjoy sunset from the water, entertain the kids, and float on the lakes all summer long. It all starts at the Lodge, the Twin Cities' newest Bennington dealer, the Power Lodge, with locations in Brainerd, Onamia, Ramsey, and Miller Marine of St. Cloud. Hundreds of pontoons in stock across all Power Lodge locations. Your summer fun begins at Brainerd's newest Bennington dealer, the Power Lodge. Enjoy the best days of summer on your favorite lakes in a brand new Bennington pontoon from the Twin Cities' newest Bennington dealer, the Power Lodge in Ramsey, with locations in Brainerd, Onamia, Ramsey, and Miller Marine in St. Cloud, and hundreds of Benningtons in stock across all locations. The Power Lodge is your destination before you hit the lakes this summer and cruise at sunset. Fun begins at the Lodge, the Twin Cities' newest Bennington dealer, the Power Lodge. Get some throttle therapy on land and water, millermarine.com and powerlodge.com, and you can tell them Tommy sent you. Why should your business bank with North American Banking Company? Here's Corey Wisco of the Welshire.
We're so grateful for their support and just the fact that they truly believe in what we do. They took the time to get to know us. They have faith in what we do, and it's just been a great partnership that's just always been based on success. They've always had our back every step of the way.
For more information about North American Banking Company, go to nabankco.com. That's nabankco.com. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. There's plenty of thoughts that come into your head when you think the name Killebrew. Of course, there's the Minnesota baseball legend, Harmon, who was responsible for many a favorite memory at the old Met Stadium in Bloomington, and many a baseball that ended up in the stands and in the gloves of adoring fans from his home runs. There's Killebrew Drive, the legendary road that connects Highway 77 to the Mall of America, and a day of shopping you'll never forget. My current thoughts for the name Killebrew is fun floats in our kitchen with my kids and grandkids, a cool, refreshing break in between innings at Target or CHS Field. Or maybe a perfect sunset paired with a sweet, frothy beverage after fishing or on your favorite walleye lake. Killebrew root beer and cream soda. Grab a six-pack at a grocery or convenience store near you. I'm Tom Barnard. This spring and summer, enjoy the one Killebrew root beer and cream soda. Gluten and caffeine-free with a generous portion of delicious thrown in. Killebrew, where memories are created and legends are made.
The new Tom Barnard Morning Show is proud to have partners like North American Banking Company, Bradshaw and Bryant, MyPillow, and attorney and advertiser Dave Bialke.
I've been advertising on Tom Barnard shows for years. I like Tom, not just because he's a good guy, but because the ads I run on his show bring me new clients that are hurt at work and need legal help. Tommy B works for me.
Grow results for your business by partnering with the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Visit TomBarnardShow.com, keyword partner.
I'm busy doing somebody else's job. I can't be on the air right now. What do you think of that?
I'm barely
Talk amongst yourselves because I have to find something.
I'm barely busy doing my own job.
Like what?
I said I'm barely busy.
You don't even have a job. You're making it up as you go along.
True that.
It's all true, sister.
Okay. I have 10 dumb things we believed when we were kids, Rudy, that I'm going to share with you.
Okay.
And tell me if you believe these or not. Be honest. Here's a good one for us. When you were a kiddo, did you believe that the songs played on the radio were being played live each time they came on? All right, no. I actually asked if the request line was real.
Oh,
when you were a kid.
Yeah, no. I thought every time you called a radio station that they would put that song on, within 3 minutes. What I didn't know is that radio stations obviously just play the same songs over and over and over again. And usually if you call and ask for a specific song that's in a heavy rotation, it'll end up being played within that 6 songs. But to me, it felt like that disc jockey was personally listening to me and my request. Yes.
So sometimes on the overnight, someone would call in, they request a song. I'd say, no, I love that for you. We're not going to play that. But will you just quickly say, I want Highway to Hell?
Yeah.
And then I'll put you on the radio. And they'd say, yeah, I'll switch up my request.
That's really what the only thing they want is to hear their voice.
I know. Yep. That when drinking and driving, did you ever have a moment where you thought that meant any liquids?
No, because I've been doing it since I was 12, so I kind of knew what I just bought a car yesterday, and the guy was like, "Do you want the lane assist?" I was like, "What's that?" He's like, "It keeps you in the middle of the road." I was like, "You know what? The drinker in me kind of wants that feature."
God, Jesus Christ!
It'll make tons of noise. That's the only problem.
Is that what it does?
We got to track this down because I don't have it and you don't have it.
Oh, yeah, it's fine for right now. We don't need to worry about it till later. Yeah.
No, it's 8:15. That's 12 minutes away.
Yeah. No, we'll find one. Yeah.
I don't know how we're going to do that.
No, I'll find one for you. Yeah, not a problem.
All right. Yep. All right, never mind.
How about this? When you were...
I was going to say, you worry about with Brittany, and then I'll take care of this off air for you.
Absolutely. If I would have done it right in the first place, I wouldn't have to worry about it.
No,
what do you think of that action?
Yeah,
what do you think of that action?
Brittany's screwing things up.
Yeah,
What?
Brittany, way to go.
Because I make
damn it.
so much cash.
You're a loser. Oh, God, here we go.
I'm getting yelled at jobs that I didn't even know I had. How about this? When you were a kiddo and how parents would freak out when you would turn on the light in the car, and I was convinced it must make them blind while they're driving.
Oh, yeah.
And now when I drive and if the light comes on, I'm like, this is not as dramatic as my parents made it seem. Like being in the car and having the interior light on.
Yeah, why? But why would you turn the light on? Was this at night?
Yeah, here's why. Because the reflection on the inside reflects, the light on the inside reflects off of the windshield, and then it makes it tough to see on the outside.
But it's not as dramatic. I mean, now I drive and I've turned the light on while I've experienced it, and I would have to say it's not nearly as dramatic as my parents made it seem.
Yeah, back then windshields were like at a 90-degree angle, though.
Is that it? Is that just crappier
more
cars?
Aerodynamic these days.
I just remember thinking, and then another thing I used to love that we do is if we're looking, and I do this, I turn down the radio as soon as we start having to look for an area or whatever. I don't like when more than one thing is going on. If someone's talking to me and the radio is on too loud. But that always drove me crazy when my parents were, or my mom, I should say, was driving, and all of a sudden we have to turn down the radio because we're looking for an exit or looking for something in the car.
Why do you have to turn the radio down to look for an exit?
Well, that's how I used to feel as a kiddo, but now as an adult, I don't like a bunch of things at me all the time. Like,
first of all, what's a radio? I don't even know what that is.
What's a radio?
Radio, baby.
You have to turn down the Tom Barnard Show.
It's not on the radio. I suppose it is.
Yeah.
Actually, it can be on the radio in your car.
I listen to it in the car all the time.
Because of Bluetooth, baby.
Yeah.
That's all I know. Yeah, no question about that. All right, so I want to run these down by you guys, see if you agree with these or not, or what you think of them. 10 dumb things we believed when we were kids. Now, we're in 2 or 3 completely different generations, so this ought to be interesting.
We just did that. That's what we were doing just now.
Oh, you were doing it when I was out of the room?
No, just when you were right now. That was one of them. Some of the stuff. Yeah, that's what we were doing.
What are you talking about? What?
We were literally doing that right now. Yeah.
Okay, whatever. So which ones did you cover? I don't want to cover them again.
Okay, hit up the number 3. We didn't do number 3 because I thought it was kind of silly.
Okay, so you did that. Songs played on the radio were being played live each time they came on. They don't drink and drive, meant all drinks. Wait a minute. Don't drink and drive. Nobody believed that you couldn't have a Diet Coke.
I thought it was when I was a kid.
Did you really?
Yeah, I thought, because I constantly heard don't drink and drive, don't drink and drive. So I thought if my mom was having, I thought, wow, you can't. I thought it was a distraction thing. Was such an idiot as a kid.
You mean like working on the show, such a distraction? You mean like that?
Yeah, exactly.
Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
Honest to God, you're a disaster. I said a disaster. You heard me. Anyway, it's okay. Number 3. Yeah, so I didn't even know you were doing it because I'm trying to find.
That's okay.
I was trying to do some other person's job.
That's okay.
It's very difficult.
You're doing great. Do number 3.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm
Good.
sorry. I'm trying to be positive.
You're a disaster.
I'm not jumping down your throat like somebody would have, but.
Like who would
Oh,
have?
I wonder who.
Like somebody would have jumped down my throat?
No.
Good luck. That cats are girls and dogs are boys. I never heard that one.
I never thought that.
No, I don't know what the hell they're talking about. That if it was raining where I was, it was raining everywhere in the world. Nobody believed that.
No.
These are ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. I skipped a lot of these because I think they're kind of dumb.
Well, keep skipping them because they suck. You're right. You were right to skip them. That chocolate milk came from brown cow. This is too stupid. Thank you.
Or if you're having a milkshake, you just shake up a cow.
This is how you want to read copy, isn't it? Small space. Perfect. We're going to have a little meeting after the show today.
No, like I said, we had computer problems earlier today.
Yeah, but we don't need it. Tell them to get their ass in here and fix it right now, damn it. Yeah, these are too lame to read, don't you think? Chocolate milk came from brown cows.
Yes.
Are there any good ones at all?
The vehicle and the light, and then here's one. Do number 9.
Okay, no. Oh, I haven't even seen that yet because I haven't scrolled down yet. Ripping off a tag on a mattress meant you were going to federal prison. Well, it used to say there that that was illegal to tear that off, didn't it?
I know, and as an adult, even I'd buy things and go, we can't rip that off. My husband's like, yes, we own it. You can rip off that tag on our couch.
But why did it say that? I don't understand why it said that.
I think it says that really big, like you will go to federal prison, and then small print if you tear this off before buying it, because there's like information for the customer.
Oh, okay.
But I think it's just conveying that, like, make sure that they get this information before purchasing.
See, I didn't know that. I had no idea. The final one is one person said, my grandma told me the rumble strips on the side of the road were there to help blind people maintain their lane. Yeah. Nice grandmother. I actually love this woman.
I do too.
Oh, yeah, it's so blind people can drive. Yeah, okay, grandma.
It's called accessibility, Tom.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about accessibility. We better make sure that everybody can drive even if they're blind.
Yep.
I wouldn't doubt they'll do that someday.
Shut it.
Although cars drive themselves now, so I suppose they could drive now, couldn't they? A lot of cars drive themselves now, don't they?
It's still, okay, so I don't know about a Tesla, but we've done, we were looking for a car a couple years ago, and we did a bunch of the assisted driving things. It's still not 100. It's still not a relax. I remember we were practicing it with some new car, and all of a sudden we're going off in this exit, and my husband's like, well, why? And I go, the car decided we are going off in this exit.
Well, there you go.
This is the decision the car made.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. So what else is in the news? Anything any good? Yeah, that's the one problem I have with the 10 dumb things we believed when we were kids. 7 of those were total BS. Nobody believed those, did they?
No, did you? And there's one on there about eating seeds. Did your mom ever say about eating, apple seeds or watermelon seeds? It's going to grow in your tummy.
No.
Yeah, I remember that.
I remember
really?
That too. Yeah.
You didn't believe it though.
I think as a small kid, it was something I not worried about, but thought about. And then as soon as I became a little bit more aware, less so. But I don't even know the last time I had a watermelon that had seeds in it. I feel like that's so rare now, too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, is it really? Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't even know that. So watermelons are seedless now?
Yeah, I think a lot of them are.
That's pretty cool. How'd they do that?
Science.
Now, how do they grow new ones?
Science.
So if there are no seeds, how do you grow new watermelon?
You have somebody eat a seed, and then it grows in their belly.
It grows in their belly, and they poop it out, and there you go.
No, they don't poop it out. It's a horrible death, but sacrifice.
To eat a watermelon seed's a horrible death.
Sacrifices.
I understand. No question about it. Okay, see, now here's another. This might be good and it might not be. If you're a certain age, you remember playing Duck Hunt on the original Nintendo. I never played. Did you play Duck Hunt?
Oh, hell yeah.
I don't remember that game.
You have a little dog?
There's a little. See, I think I got to the video game thing late.
Yeah.
I just don't think I had much. I used to like to go to. There's a place called Playland downtown Minneapolis on Hennepin Avenue, and I used to love to go in there because it was all the pinball machines and all that kind of stuff. And then the home stuff came along, and we didn't really do it until Andy was, I think, probably about 10. So that would have been 96. Is that about when this stuff started?
You were pretty busy when all the video games were coming out.
Yeah, that's true.
I was very into being a half centimeter from the screen with Duck Hunt and shooting those ducks.
Oh, so you actually shoot at? So they give you a gun to shoot at the screen?
Yeah, it's like an orange
that's not
plastic
bad.
gun. It was super. I felt so advanced.
Did it?
Oh, it felt like the most. I think I was more excited about that than I've ever been about Oculus. That's beyond. I was
What's
shocked.
Oculus?
That's the 3D headset.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, you
Yeah.
see those on the clip shows all the time because people do weird things when they're wearing those.
Yeah, do you want me to bring my headset in? You
No,
want to
I'm
try
good.
Oculus?
I'm good to go.
It'd be pretty fun to see you in it.
Oculus, I'm good. Actually, the only video game I ever really cared for. I mean, I played some other ones that are okay, but my favorite was still Tiger Woods Golf.
You loved it.
That was a good game.
Can I talk about, okay, one time I was setting up Tom for the morning show. I was working overnights, sending him a bunch of stuff, and he messaged me saying, hey, I'm missing this, and I said, okay, sounds good. And I'd always hear birds in the background. And so he'd be
there you go.
He'd be in Florida, so I had this idea that he was like, there was this window that was near him, and all these tropical birds were hanging out, and it was just in my mind, majestic. And one day I finally was like, God, there's so many wild birds near you. That's just must be such a cool area. He goes, oh no, that's from Tiger Woods Golf.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Like, where do you think he's like, I'm in like a closet, okay? There's no window. I'm trying to do a radio show. You're hearing the video game right now.
You know, I'll be honest with you. When you're not that good a golfer, playing Tiger Woods is great because you're a phenomenal golfer when you play that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got into
really good, man.
You got into that one. That one was you had fun with that.
They stopped making that one like 2012, I think, was the last one of those.
Yeah, I think when his wife hit him with a 9-iron is when they pulled the plug on it. You ever play Golden Tee?
The one in like bars?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
You can buy them now for like $400. Oh, they're a blast.
It is fun. That's a lot of fun playing those games. No question about it. But I should try. I wonder, can you still buy Tiger Woods Golf? I suppose they probably shut most of that down now, I would imagine.
I imagine you can find it for a system because the newer systems, they usually have like retro games where you can play some of the older systems games on the new version. So
that's good.
Yeah, I imagine you'd still be able to.
That's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you're a certain age, you remember playing Duck Hunt on the original Nintendo, chasing the ducks across the TV screen with that gray and orange gun-shaped controller. So there you go. That's what you were talking about.
Yes, sir.
The 25-year-old guy in North Carolina named David D'Alessandro robbed a convenience store he robbed it with a duck hunt gun.
Mm-hmm.
Who would fall for that? It's
know.
orange plastic, is it? Right?
I don't know.
I mean,
it's orange plastic. I'm trying to think if the heat of the moment, if somebody ran in here with a duck hunt, yeah, I'd recognize it.
You're not going to think that's a gun.
I wonder if you cut the cord off. I wonder if it's in there because there's a cord that attaches to the system.
Well, is there a hole where the barrel should be, or is it just a little screeny thing?
It's a teeny little screeny
That's
thing.
what I thought.
It's an angled barrel, and then it's got like a screeny deal.
Doesn't look anything like a real gun, if I remember.
If you weren't using it, maybe you wouldn't know better.
But there's nowhere for the bullet to come out.
Well, it's not like you can see the screeny thing.
Oh, you can't?
No.
Okay, because I remember the very first ones, you could see the screen.
It's like a beveled little, you wouldn't be able to tell if it.
But still, orange plastic. I would not want to shoot an orange plastic gun, I got to be honest with you.
But they make plastic, like BB guns and pellet guns.
Yeah, pellet guns they do. Yep, that's true. You shoot me with a pellet all you want. Shoot me right in the ass. What do you think of that?
Shoot me right in the head with
I remember watching guys do that at the old North Commons Park once. They were shooting each other in the ass with pellet guns.
Oh, wow, that's neat.
It's like, what, you pretend you're a tough guy? Are you a tough guy now because somebody can shoot you in the butt cheek?
You guys ever have Roman candle fights?
What are that?
Oh, well, you aim, and it shoots out. Yeah, I remember that. God, I haven't thought about that in years.
Yeah, the Roman candle shoots like 10 like flaming balls, and then you just fire them at each other. And that was your entertainment back in 1989.
Anybody get it in the face ever? That's gotta hurt.
Never got one in the face. Got one in the thigh one time.
Oh.
Yeah.
I wouldn't care for that. Okay, this 25-year-old guy in North Carolina named David D'Alessandro robbed a convenience store on Tuesday afternoon with a plastic duck hunt gun. It was painted black, so it wasn't that. Oh, so it wasn't orange anymore.
Okay.
But couldn't you also tell if it was painted or not?
I don't know. I mean, things are so heated in those moments.
Yeah, that's true. Good point.
Yeah, you're not really breaking things down.
It's unclear if David knew what the gun was. If he's 25, the game was before his time. Maybe he just found it while he was living in his parents' basement. The robbery, there was supposed to be a joke there, I think, that they wrote in there that none of us laughed at because it's not funny. The robbery was successful momentarily. David showed the gun and took $300. And here's what I've never understood. You're going to pull off an armed robbery for $300? You're going to go to jail for a few years for $300. I don't understand that at all. The clerk called the cops. They found David down the street and arrested him. Somewhere a car. Why did I start reading this?
Is it bad?
Somewhere a cartoon dog is giggling at him. Why did they write this? Stop writing that in there. Right?
Love that little dog in that game.
What's the little dog look like?
It's like a Saint Bernard almost.
Yeah,
it
with
really?
big ears. It's got
Really?
a hound. Yeah, like.
I thought it would have been a little dog.
No, it's just he goes hoo 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 when you miss, and he's so cute.
Was he really Cujo-like?
No.
Remember Cujo?
Yeah.
That was a sheepdog, wasn't it? Or a
I thought
Saint
that
Bernard or something?
No, that was a Rottweiler.
was Cujo a
Was it?
Rottweiler.
I think so. Yeah, I think.
Oh, I thought it wasn't.
Oh no, you're right. That was a Saint Bernard.
It was a
actually.
Saint Bernard, I
Yeah,
think.
Let me look. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty. Is it Saint Bernard or a? I can't remember the other brand or whatever.
No,
the
you're
hell
right.
that
It's
is.
Saint Bernard.
It is. I thought it was a scary Saint Bernard. Ooh, I thought that was
love
ridiculous.
Saint Bernard.
I do too. They're not scary in the least.
I fostered a Saint Bernard named Pickles, who was
Pickles.
120 pounds and 30 pounds underweight.
Holy Hannah.
So you could see Pickles' rib cage and was still 120 pounds. And man, their spit is like rubber cement. If it gets stuck somewhere,
Yes.
you have to like scrub it off because it's not coming off.
I would hate that.
It was rough.
We have to take a break because Chris Egert's coming up in just a couple of minutes, ladies and gentlemen. I've got to say it. I'm feeling fantastic. I really am, As you may have heard, I've been following the fat loss program at mnfatloss.com, and I've lost right now about 24 pounds. I've been following the program for about 6 weeks now. Like I said, losing 4 pounds a week. I'm very happy with that. And I can tell you it feels great to be going into summer having lost the weight in just a few weeks' time. You will absolutely be able to lose weight like I've done and still enjoy the foods you love this summer. I'm eating my favorite grilled steak and chicken along with fresh vegetables and berries. That's all stuff that I love. I drink lots of water, too. No wonder I feel great. If you want to find out the secret to losing 20 to 30 pounds, I'm right in the middle of that, to 24, 20 to 30 pounds in just 8 weeks, just like I'm doing. That's about a pound of fat every day. No exercise required. To schedule your free consultation, go to mnfatloss.com. That would be mnfatloss.com. Results may vary. Be sure to tell them, the team, of course, at mnfatloss.com, that Tom Barnard sent you.
It's the Memorial Day auction from Air Mechanical. Your chance to save up to 70% on items. Like this. You can save up to 70% on these amazing items and services. Bid now on a super high efficiency plus condensing tankless water heater from Reminisce. Enjoy an endless supply of hot water. Also bid on Aerosteel duct sealing. Very effective way to improve the efficiency of heating and cooling systems by reducing air leakage. Just go to TomBernardShow.com and enter keyword auction to bid now. That's TomBernardShow.com and enter keyword auction.
The new Tom Barnard Morning Show is proud to have partners like Bradshaw and Bryant, MyPillow, and North American Banking Company founder, chairman, and president, Mike Bilski.
I've advertised on Tom's show for years, and the reason is simple. My business is recognized because of the ads, and that recognition has created growth. What business doesn't want to grow? I highly recommend the Tom Barnard Morning Show for your advertising.
Grow results for your business by partnering with the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Visit TomBernardShow.com, keyword partner.
This is Bob Sansevier, and I want to tell you about Dave Bialke from Bialke Law. Dave represented my wife, Mary, when she had a significant workplace injury. She was very happy with the job Dave did. If you have a work-related injury and have Dave represent you, I'm betting you'll be happy too. Dave is a down-to-earth guy. He grew up in northern Minnesota, rides a Harley, and worked various jobs doing concrete, electrical, plumbing, roofing, and carpentry work. Dave works for people with work-related injuries. If you work construction, or anywhere for that matter, and you're hurt or even just hurting, you should talk to Dave. Let's face it, our bodies wear out. If your body is worn out from work, if your knees or back or shoulders hurt from things you do at work, do what Mary did. Call Dave and talk to him about it at Bialke Law to set up a free initial consultation. The number to call is 763-571-2410. That's 763-571-2410. Or visit bialkelaw.com. That's BIALKE law.com.
Look at that. She put her headphones on the second we were back on the air. I'm very impressed.
Professional.
Very, very impressed.
After I
with
tried
you.
to shut the door in your face.
She tried to slam the door in my face just now. I'm having a hell of a morning. I got here in a great mood. Now I feel horrible. Chris, explain it to me.
Fix it, Chris.
I'm in a great mood. Showing. Oh, now you just disappeared too.
He'll be up in a second.
I'm not here now?
Yeah, you're there. Yep.
Okay, good.
Well, not on my screen, not, but you know. Yeah. Nope, he's gone again. No, wait, there. I'm just kidding.
I'm sorry, Tom. You know, those days suck because you go in with high expectations and then it kind of all
Every day.
derails.
I just get squashed is the problem.
You can turn it around. Right now, you can just turn it around.
I cannot believe you weren't there when I got there yesterday to the Hubbard building.
I know. Well, I actually ended up being there kind of late, and I thought about sticking around.
Yeah.
But I had a lot of crap to do yesterday, so
Give a
sorry.
rat's ass what you had to do yesterday. Be there next time, Buster.
I will. I would love to see you. It's been a minute.
It was a great time. It was a really, really good time, no doubt about it.
Did you eat in the cafeteria?
I did not. I got there at about 5 minutes to 12, and I went and did the show, and then I went, I had a bunch of stuff I had to do. But I'm telling you, man, Sush has always been a great guy. He was talking about a battle we got into about 35 years ago. It was phenomenal.
What was that all about?
I can't remember. He told me to go screw myself or something. I don't remember what the hell it was, but I tell you what, though, we've mentioned this already. He stood up for me when people claim I'm this and I'm that and I'm blah, 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 right? Including your TV station, by the way, did that to me. But, don't worry about my feeling.
That was before my my time.
It was last July.
No.
Yes, it was, too. What's his name? Kevin Doran?
Doran, yeah.
Kevin Doran. He starts off the story about me leaving KQ. He goes, Tom Barnard is, to some people, very, very entertaining, but other people think he's a racist. It's like, why would you throw that in there?
It's either one of those two.
I mean, why would you even say that on television? Do I go call Kevin and go, Kevin, I'm going to go over and kick you right in the ass if you ever do that to me again? Should I do that? Should I call Kevin and tell him that? Why do they do those things?
I didn't see that particular introduction.
I did, actually. Somebody sent it to me.
I'm not at liberty to speak about that.
You big baby sugar tit. Hey, I've been called so many names by the news media, I don't even care anymore. Most of the people in your business are complete assholes. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to get you out of this corner I painted you into.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Listen, I can handle it. It's no big deal.
But the amazing thing is the listeners find this stuff and then they send it to me. It's like, thank you so much for that, because I had no idea you did that.
You got your eyes and ears everywhere, man. That's good.
Apparently, well, but I don't really need to read that. You know what I mean?
Probably not. No.
God, I got to be honest with you. I'd be the worst racist ever. If I were racist, I'd be terrible. I'd be a terrible racist. I lived with a black man and a black woman in 1972. That's not very good for a racist. Don't you think I dropped the ball on racism there?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I should have never done that. I should have never agreed to move in with them.
Yeah, then you'd be more racist.
Or maybe you're the best racist because you're covering it up by
That's true.
living with
I'm
black
just
people.
covering her all up, ladies and gentlemen.
Do you guys remember that Dave Chappelle skit where Dave Chappelle was a blind black
phenomenal
Ku Klux Klan?
Yeah.
And he ran the whole Ku Klux Klan.
And I love at the end when he divorces his wife because she was married to a black guy.
That's
right.
the
best part.
So
Yeah.
Biggest payoff of all time. That was one of the greatest bits I've ever seen in my entire life. Especially when the two white kids are playing a little rap music. Why don't you big ends turn that down? He just called us the big end. How cool is that?
Yeah.
I go, oh, okay. That man is brilliant. Dave Chappelle.
That
and his
show
writers.
was so edgy, and I don't know that we appreciated at the time how edgy it was because there's nothing that touches anything like that on TV right now.
It was, I mean, honestly, the milkman. That remember he delivered the milk to the Nigger family.
Yeah.
That was their last name.
Oh my God. I'll stop by and get paid later because I know how you don't like to pay your bills on time. So funny.
God, he was brilliant. He is brilliant.
Yes, he is.
The other half of the Chappelle Show was Neil Brennan.
Yeah.
And Neil is actually going to be in town, I believe, at the Varsity Theater. He was just here not that long ago, I think last summer, but I think he's doing another 4 shows coming up, I believe, in July. So really funny, very poignant.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so check that guy out. So good.
We should have him on the show.
I would love to. He's a tough get.
Oh, bullshit.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I'll give you one of my pistols. You can go get him.
Oh, God.
Just, hey, look what I got.
Also,
get in the car.
People look dumb with one pistol. You have to give them two.
Yeah,
Okay, we'll get two. We can get two then. That'd be good.
Get a duck hunt gun, paint it black.
Did you see his latest stand-up that he released about, maybe it was 6 months ago, or maybe even long? Have you seen it?
Is it Chappell or
No, it's Neil Brennan.
Okay, I didn't know if you were talking about Chappell.
Phenomenal. I mean, he is so good in that stand-up special. It's amazing.
Are you talking about the one where he goes to 3 different microphones and he does 3 different versions of comedy?
I think maybe. I can't remember. It's been a while since, it's been months and months since I've seen it, but I just remember it was really good.
It's very good. Yep.
A hell of a talent. That whole show, they'll never beat the Chappell Show.
No.
Never. Because of the combination of those two was sterling. It was great. But I loved it. But the milkman, the black milkman showing up for the white family named the Big N. Hello, Big N's. How you doing today?
I just was watching some of that within the last couple of months. Went back and watched some of it with my my grown son, I guess I would say now. And like, it's still funny. It's as funny as it was when I saw it the first time.
Yep.
It's crazy how good that was. It's crazy to think that he walked away from it too, just the way he did.
Yeah, he did. But you're right. That show, the Chappell Show, I don't think anything will ever. Well, what's his name? God, he's a friend of mine too. Jesus, big. Oh God, Okerson. What the hell is his?
Big J Okerson.
Big J. Yeah,
Big
there
J.
you go. Big J is one, and he was one of the right. Matter of fact, Big J wrote the blind white supremacist bit with Chappelle. Those two wrote that bit. And as a matter of fact, I think Big J wrote most of that bit. Very, very good writer, but he used to. One thing I just love about that is that whenever he comes to town, he loves to tell me when he's appearing at Acme or wherever it's usually where he goes is Acme. But he loves to call him and tell me, hey, Tommy, they were going after you again during my show because I mentioned during the show that I know you, and they're going after you. I'm like, good, glad to hear it. I'm still relevant. No, he's a great guy, too. Big J is a great writer, really good.
Yeah, he is. I saw him when he opened up for Korn. Remember the band Korn? He opened up for them, and then afterwards he was walking down the street, Hennepin Avenue, by himself, and we were driving by in the car, and I yelled out, hey, Big J! And he turned around, and he's like, hey, where are you guys going? What's going on tonight? I was like, oh, I didn't think you were going to answer me. I don't want to hang out with you.
Regret.
I'm going home. I've seen the YouTube videos. You drink everybody under the table. I don't want to wake up with a hangover.
That boy can get after it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he used to come over to the house when I lived in Golden Valley once in a while, and that was, my God, it was unbelievable.
It's so funny how many times when I was on the KQ Morning Show and I'd bring the person in, they're like, what are you doing tonight? What's the hot spot? And I'm like, I don't want to hang out with you. I don't want to hang out with any, and I don't.
I'm good.
It happened all the time. Like, so tell me what's the hot spots. And I'm like, nope. I'm not. No thank you. Like, social awkward, no thanks.
Well, you were just stunning to them.
Yeah, that's it.
And therefore...
I still remember one of the comedians, I was wearing a choker necklace, and he's like, do you want to see if that thing works? And I was like, oh.
Weird.
It was so... People would say the weirdest things to me, and I'd just go, neat. Well, and I'd go hide in my studio and never come out.
And I had to do that twice in the same day, because they did it to you, and then they did it to my daughter on the family podcast.
I'm sure.
It's like, would you guys shut the hell up and calm down? Jesus, Palomino. Oh, I got to tell you, Mr. Egert, that I went golfing with my family last night. I played one hole and just sat in the cart the rest of the time.
That's
perfect.
Fun, though.
I just can't. I don't know what the hell happened to my golf swing. It's gone. I don't know what. I took 6 years off. Maybe that's not helpful.
Sometimes it is, though, when you don't play for a while.
I know.
Yeah.
I got to figure out.
Because you get in a bad habit, and you keep doing the bad habit over and over again. So if you stop, you get out of it.
Okay, you guys explain to me, the three of you explain to me why this is the case. Okay? Why when I go to the range or take a lesson, I'm hitting the ball perfectly. And I mean, it's just perfect. You get in the golf course, totally different swing.
It's a mind game.
What the hell am I doing?
What do they say? Golf's 80% mental. Maybe I rounded down. I'm not sure, but
98% for me.
Sounds right.
Mm-hmm.
Honest to God, I literally played so poorly I didn't even want to play anymore. It was horrible.
Did you have fun in the cart, though? I love the cart.
Catherine drives, though. That's the one problem.
Oh, I'm sorry.
See, there you go. You know, wherever we go, I have not driven a car with her in about 40 years.
Yeah.
She will not ride in the car if I'm driving.
You're actually a really great passenger because a couple months ago, I brought you to an appointment, and a guy almost hit us, and we both were irate about it, and it felt nice to have a passenger as mad as I was about it.
I hate that when people drive like that.
Yeah.
I just hate it.
Do you remember we almost got hit going on Highway 100? And I thought to myself, we would be in the news if we got hit right now, because of you.
My favorite of all time, back when 394 was Highway 12, so this is many, many years ago. I'm driving along, and this guy almost clipped me, right? And there were lights on Highway 12 back then. Obviously, it's 394 now, so there are no lights, but there were lights back then. We're driving along, and this guy almost clipped my car, cutting me off, right? So we stop at the light, and I'm about to get out of the car. I open the door, and the guy in the car next to me opens his door and hands me a pipe.
Oh, my God.
He was more pissed off about the guy cutting me off than I was.
A communal pipe.
It was this big, long pipe.
He goes, here you go.
He goes, go beat the
Pay
piss
it
out
forward.
It was actually an Indian, and it was a peace offering.
A peace pipe.
You guys are idiots. Don't ever get out of your car. Don't ever get out of your car.
Why not? You can't do any damage if you don't get out of the car.
Don't ever get. I don't care what happens. I don't care if I am the 100% the one who did it or got it done to me. I don't ever get out of your car. What are you doing?
So they'll just shoot you. What the hell's the difference?
Right?
Who cares?
Who cares?
Whatever.
Don't roll your window down either, because
No.
you're vulnerable if you roll the window down. I might have been punched in the face once.
Somebody punched you while you were driving?
Who did it, Chris?
Oh, this was back in the day when we were lads and we were
lads. I love
we were
that.
cruising the loop or whatever the hell it is you do, and then this guy we're shooting stupid super soakers at us. It was probably filled with piss for all I know. They hit us and we pulled up to the light, and I'm just like beep 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 yelling at him. Guy stopped at the light, gets out, comes back, walks over to my car door, and I so stupid just instinctually roll the window down. Guy reaches in, jacks me, gets up.
Really? Jesus.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
Never saw him again.
Honest to God.
I wonder his version of the story, and then I punched a guy in a car. That's wild.
And then in college, one of my best friends, these guys were chasing us. I don't know what the hell happened, but two super towny fellas, mid to late 20s or early 30s, and we were college kids, and they looked like they were out looking for a fight or something. They chased us back through these side streets. We're going 80 on these side streets. It was crazy. My buddy we finally got stopped, and we couldn't get away from him. My friend gets out of the car. He's like, all right, well, let's go face the music or whatever.
Right.
My buddy walks over to him. Guy just gets out.
Really?
Just freaking decks him, and these guys would have beat us. So he's just, the guy yelled at us, "Shut the F up," and we're like,
yes,
okay.
sir, yes, sir, yes, sir.
What started the problem?
We pulled up to a light or something, and they were guys who were out looking for a fight.
Oh, so they were looking for it. Okay.
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
For sure.
Were they drinking?
Oh, I have to assume so.
Did you pull a gun on them? That helps.
I didn't have one at the time, but I wish I'd had some kind of something.
No, you don't. No, you don't. This is all dumb men stuff. You do not wish that what exactly was supposed to happen happened. Nobody died that night. We're not talking to you from some penitentiary. Everything was perfect. It's fine. You probably needed to get your ass
probably
kicked.
25 years ago.
You're
you're
fine.
right, Brittany. You're right.
You're fine.
You're right.
Come on. Why can't you even open fire on one person?
No, I say hard pass.
The guy was being a Richard. He did deserve to have some kind of bodily harm.
He was being a
inflicted.
Richard.
He got his. Trust me, he has to live with himself. There, if you think that was his only altercation, he's got it all. Karma is good at that.
Yeah, I think he's you remember the O'Doyle family from.
Yeah, O'Doyle.
Yeah, this guy was one of the brothers in the O'Doyle family.
Yep.
That was how he rolled.
Yep.
I should close by telling you, by the way, the guy that was going to hand me the pipe.
Mm-hmm.
I said, no, I don't need to do that. And he goes, what? I said, I don't need to go hitting somebody. He goes, I don't want you to hit him. Just go and smash out his windshield. I'm like, oh, okay. I did not take the pipe.
That'll learn him.
We moved on. He wanted me to smash the piss out of the guy's windshield. Well, the guy was being a raging prick for no reason.
Yeah, but you just keep driving. Just keep driving.
I guess. Yeah, it's the prudent thing to do. Just keep driving. You're right.
Just keep driving.
So, Chris, are there any news things we should talk about?
Yeah, we were actually talking traffic thing this morning. Very unfortunate. There was a wrong way crash on 694 this morning in Oakdale at like 2:30 in the morning. 2 people got killed, and there was a little kid in
at
the
2:30 in the morning.
Yeah, and the kids at Gillette, and not good shape. That you guys have probably experienced this coming to work at ridiculous hours in the morning. I've seen wrong way drivers on the freeway 10 times probably, and it's bad deal.
Chris, that was Brittany.
Oh God, no! It was not Brittany.
Brittany on
back
the
in
road
Brittany's boozing days.
It was. At that point, I was sleeping at the station because I was drunk at some station event.
That's true, by the way.
Sleeping in a closet.
That is
or
true.
Sleeping in the station vehicle that somebody else drove. Classy.
That all works out in the end. Well, I'm very sorry to hear this. So a little. How old did you say? A 2-year-old? Something like that?
I'm not sure. It's just described as a child, and that's It's. I'm actually surprised it doesn't happen more. When you look at a lot of those exits and the entrances, and I could see it people being confused if they weren't impaired. Yeah, and I don't know what happened. I'm not trying to implicate anybody that they were impaired. I just know a lot of times that's how these things end up. But I mean, you see older folks sometimes going the wrong way down these things, and they're confusing, and let alone anything else factored in there. So there's also a train derailment up north. I know you seem to be interested in whenever we talk about those things, because it's something that's been happening. And it's been in the news a lot. I don't know that
it has.
I think we've established it's not happening more. It's just that people are more, in tune with it. But that was pretty close to the Canadian border up north. They're saying that hazardous materials did not spill, but I don't really think anybody quite knows yet because it's all the way up north.
Yeah.
So,
doesn't it happen like 3 times a week? A train crashes somewhere.
I don't remember. We looked it up last time we talked about it. I can't remember, but it definitely happens. And I know, 5 Eyewitness News did a whole big investigation. We went back and looked at that crash in Raymond that happened earlier this year. And we went back and looked and did some record searching and yada, 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 and found out that there had been concerns raised about that stretch of track many, 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 many times. So that, that seems like it's something that happens more and more too, that people raise red flags about it, but nothing gets done about it until after the fact, unfortunately. But
that's really unfortunate that stuff happens. There's no reason on earth for that stuff to be happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, there's enough money apparently around for everything. Everyone gets some money. Maybe we could fix up the railroad tracks too.
Well, plus fact, aren't most of the railroad tracks owned by Warren Buffett or Bill Gates? They own a lot of rails. I know that.
I think we did figure out that a lot of it's private owned. Yeah,
it is. A lot of it is private owned. So why don't they maintain it? That'd be nice.
Yeah, get on that.
That'd be good. These billionaires are amazing. The only thing good about life is I can make more than just $1 billion. Really? You need that much money? You really need? So is this all a penis thing that I have to be the richest man on earth to show what a man I am?
Absolutely.
It's what I
absolutely.
thought. Yeah, it makes total sense. It's like, Jesus, how much money do you need, for Christ's sake? Calm down.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not a billionaire, but it's definitely a penis thing, right?
It is.
I'm going to build a rocket. Look how big my rocket is.
Well, there you have it.
It's not even hidden subliminally. That's just
So you're not on the air today on TV?
No, I'm off the next 2 days because I'm readying my home for a graduation party.
How exciting.
So you're taking 2 days off for a graduation party, and therefore you dress like a prisoner? Why are you wearing that outfit?
You look...
Yeah, I actually dressed up for this.
Well, I got to tell you something. Souchere, when I appeared on the show yesterday, I sit down in the studio. He looks up at me and goes, "Take off your hat." I went, "You got it."
Really?
Yep.
Really?
He does not like it when people wear hats in the studio.
Chris is finally feeling less left out. He got to wear a hat today. He always has hat envy of you guys.
I know, seriously. It's like the greatest day. I'm so excited to be able to wear a hat.
I'll wear a hat tomorrow, so all 4 of us are.
Kind of
I will
sad.
also have a hat on tomorrow.
I'm very, very sad the fact that it's just too much to ask of me to comb my hair in the morning. It's way over the top.
Dude, if you guys didn't have to comb it, I would never, ever, ever comb my hair. It would never happen.
Just wear a hat everywhere you go.
How long does it take boys to comb their hair? 8.5 seconds?
I got to get
That's
ready
a good
for
look
TV
right there.
You got long hair, yeah.
Stupid.
What's that character that has hair like that? There's a cartoon character
Kinda
that
looks
has hair.
like a little troll. Like,
yeah,
you know? Like
very
those little...
troll-like. Very troll-like.
You got good hair, man. For your age, that's impressive.
I have hair for a man my age.
Yeah.
That's apparently quite a thing.
Yeah.
The next time I play bingo, can you come sit on the edge of the table, Chris, for good luck?
That'd be good. Like a troll.
We'll get you a little belly ring that we can rub.
That's a hell of a hairstyle you got cooking there, man. That's a good look.
That's hat head. That's hat head, man.
It is indeed. All right, so basically I think we covered. Well, that's still too depressing to me. That whole kid 2:30 in the morning. For Christ's sake, what are you doing?
Twins won, right? You had to talk about that.
Now I want to talk to you about that. I'm glad you brought that up because you get your ass kicked by terrible teams, and then one of the best teams in baseball, and you beat Houston 2 out of 3 in Houston. What is going on with that team? They're driving me nuts.
Well, at least you know they got it in them. But that's even that much more frustrating. I know teams a lot of times let down when you're playing lesser opponents. It's hard sometimes to. A lot of times you match their level. Like it seems to always happen that way. But that's where you got to have a really good team to forge through that and like don't play at their level. You got to be playing at the level where you can beat the Astros. But
I don't know. It was a lot. I didn't get the chance to watch the game last night because I was out till about 9 o'clock, and the game was over by the time I got home, or just about over. It wasn't quite over yet. I think they were up 8-0 the last, and it was in the 7th inning, I think, when I went to bed, something like that. But yeah, it's nice to see them going because again, Houston is not a bad baseball team. They're damn good actually. So it's nice to see them take 2 out of 3 from a good team.
Got beat those cheaters.
Cheaters. Yeah, they did cheat in the World Series, didn't they?
A lot of people will hate the Astros till the end of time because of that.
It's true. Did they actually
I'll join
cheat?
that club.
Do you think? Did they cheat? I guess that's what I was told anyway.
Rudy, did you? You look like you're.
Yeah, because there was something I saw the other day that made me laugh because it said something like, the three biggest languages in America, and one said like English, and the next said American Sign Language, and the next was a trash can, and it just said Houston Astros.
There you go.
And I laughed because I was like, if you know baseball, that is very funny because when you go back and listen to those tapes, it's very damning. Did you listen to any of that? Tom, did you hear it? Like when they were Glads were at bat and they were banging on those trash cans?
Oh yeah.
You could hear that in the upper deck.
I know.
And I guess we never put 2 and 2 together for a season and a half.
I don't get it. I don't understand any of it. I'm just happy that my team won 2 out of 3 from a good team, and now they're going to let me down by getting beat by the worst team in baseball. Probably.
That's how it works.
That's how it works, man. Let's piss Tom off. What do you say? Now, Rocco Baldelli did sign a 2 or 3 year extension, from what I understand, but somebody told me it was worth millions of dollars. That can't be true, is it? Does anybody know how much the contract was for?
I didn't look that up. We were talking about it yesterday, and I didn't look that up.
Because someone told me it was like $10 million a year. Like, what? Why would you pay? I don't know Rocco Baldelli. Maybe he's, I don't know. I'm not all that impressed with him, to be honest with you. I don't think he's horrible, but I don't think he's great either. But I certainly is. That can't be right, can it? $10 million a year for Rocco Baldelli? I don't see that.
That seems pretty steep for a manager, but I don't.
Although some of the players are now making $50 million a year. So Jesus, Palomino. God, they're making a lot of money in sports now.
You got to wonder how long that the baseball money can be as high as it is, given it seems to be sort of struggling in popularity, and the fact that those salaries are still where they are is pretty remarkable. Because at some point, if if TV viewership's down and, revenues are down for the teams, they're obviously not going to be able to, be able to afford to pay that much money.
I'm not kidding you. When I was a kid, I mean, this is long before you guys even came along, but when I was 9, 10, 11 years old, I remember Bob Allison in particular, who was a great baseball player with the Twins. Bob Allison, great outfielder, great hitter, the whole deal. He would play the Twins season, and then he'd start selling cars at the car lot close to downtown. I don't know if it was Hansard or who it was. But they made so little money back then that they had to have a job in the winter to cover their expenses. A little different nowadays, don't you think?
Yeah, I believe that, though. Early pro football players didn't make much money either.
No, they didn't.
Anchorman friend of mine from out in Seattle played for the Seahawks, and after he got done playing, he went into television, and he was a news anchor at our TV station, and we would always talk to him about, back in the day and whatever, and he was like, the money was garbage. Like, he didn't make hardly anything, and they didn't have the bargaining tools and mechanisms that they have today to be able to collectively get more money and health insurance and all that kind of crap. It was, it was a cool job, but it definitely wasn't all that lucrative back then.
No, it's pretty amazing. And then you would think that Babe Ruth was making $100,000 a year many years before that. I mean, he was the first one to make $100,000 a year, which back then was a lot of money, man. Back in the 30s, I guess it would have been, something like that.
Lots of smoke and lots of drink you can buy with that.
What do you mean Babe Ruth didn't smoke or drink? What are you talking about?
Blasphemy.
He died young, didn't he? Didn't Babe Ruth die kind of young, I think?
I'm not sure. It wouldn't be surprising.
53, yeah.
He was only 53?
Yeah, that's baby.
Wow.
Glug, glug, glug is all I got to say to you.
Glug, glug, glug.
My favorite, and Rudy, I think you probably know this story already as a golfer, but my favorite story about him, there's a golf course on Bermuda, the island of Bermuda, and I can't remember what the name of the golf course is, and it doesn't matter, but there is a par 4 that would start off and then curve way off around the water, around the ocean, to the green. And Babe Ruth said, well, I'm not gonna lay up. I'm gonna go ahead and just knock it on the green. And it was like 320 yards, something like that. I lost Chris. There you are. Oh, you disappeared.
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry.
But in any case, as the story goes, he would not stop and ended up putting, I believe, 21 golf balls in the ocean.
Wow.
Trying to drive the green. And eventually, I guess he did do it. Took 23 shots to do it, or 24 shots, but he eventually got it done.
Wow.
Gee, with decision making like that, how do you only live to be 53?
Yeah, right. Right.
I love watching that boy play, though, man. The film of him playing. Great pitcher too. Many people do not know that Babe Ruth was a great pitcher. Did you know that?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. He pitched some games really, really good. Just a hell of an athlete. And I understand he was a hell of a nice guy, too, but some people say he wasn't, so I don't know where to take that one.
Let's believe he was a nice guy. I'm sure he was. There was probably, if he was as big of a drinker as it sounds like, I'm sure there was a sweet spot where he was like the greatest guy in the world every day. And then things probably went south at some point during the day, because that generally seems to happen with.
Well, I suppose I do believe the first several years of his life he lived in an orphanage, did he not? Didn't they take him out of an orphanage at some point? So he kind of carried that with him for the rest of his life. I tell you, the Babe Ruth story is a fascinating story. I haven't read it for years and years and years now. That's why I can't remember it too distinctly. But I'm going to read that again, the Babe Ruth story, because it's really, really interesting. The struggle he went through as a little boy and being abandoned and turned it around. But unfortunately, a lot of those guys, when they treated like crap when they were kids and they turn it around, they never live a long time. It just doesn't happen.
It's too bad that movie with him and John Goodman when he plays Babe Ruth.
Is it good? Is he good?
It's awful.
Is it awful?
It's terrible.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Because I like him usually.
Yeah, usually. Yeah.
John Goodman.
It's pretty bad.
It is too bad. Oh, my God, you got to get back to work. Oh, no, you don't have to get back to work. What am I talking about? You're sitting around in your black T-shirt and black hat.
I kind of do have to get back to work.
Okay, never mind. All right, thanks a lot, Pally.
I'd love to stay, but there's a pretty good chance this graduation thing could end with a divorce and a graduation. So,
well, good luck to you. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. I'll see you guys
Thanks,
tomorrow.
Chris.
Bye,
Chris Egert. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll take a break. Be right back in a couple of minutes. Tom Barnard here. Consider me your doctor of throttle therapy. On and off the water. Cruise the water in luxury on a brand new Bennington pontoon from Power Lodge. Enjoy more sunsets on the water, entertain the kids, and just float all summer long. It all starts at the Lodge. The Twin Cities' newest Bennington dealer, the Power Lodge, with locations in Brainerd, Onamia, Ramsey, Miller Marina, St. Cloud. And by the way, thank you so much, Brittany, because everywhere I go, particularly women are saying, did you buy Brittany's pontoon yet? So thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it.
Hey, it's the least I can do.
Hundreds of pontoons, fishing boats are in stock all across Power Lodge locations. Your summer fun begins at the Power Lodge. I used to live on a lake in Golden Valley. I can tell you it's a great life. Even if you don't live on the water, though, it can be just as fun when you take your boat and trailer to experience the fun of an afternoon on any one of our 10,000-plus Minnesota lakes. Enjoy the best days of summer with friends in a brand-new Bennington pontoon from Power Lodge. Miller Marina St. Cloud is the largest Bennington dealer on the planet. My friends at the family-owned and operated Power Lodge brought Miller into their family. So there's a throttle therapy prescription from your buddy Tommy B. Just go to powerlodge.com and millermarine.com and get on the water.
The new Tom Barnard Morning Show is proud to have partners like North American Banking Company, Bradshaw & Bryant, MyPillow, and attorney and advertiser Dave Bialke.
I've been advertising on Tom Barnard shows for years. I like Tom, not just because he's a good guy, but because the ads I run on his show bring me new clients that are hurt at work and need legal help. Tommy B works for me.
Grow results for your business by partnering with the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Visit tombarnardshow.com, keyword partner.
You know, I've got to say, I'm feeling fantastic. As you may have heard, I've been following the fat loss program at mnfatloss.com, and I've lost right about 23 pounds so far. I've been following the program for about 4 weeks now, a little over that, somewhere in there. And I can tell you it feels great to be going into summer having lost the weight in just a few weeks' time. You will absolutely be able to lose weight like I've done and still enjoy the foods you love this summer. That's a huge part of it. Yeah, to be able to enjoy your summer is huge. I'm eating my favorite grilled steak and chicken, along with fresh vegetables and berries, drinking lots of water. No wonder I feel great. If you want to find out the secret to losing 20 to 30 pounds in just 8 weeks, just like I'm doing, that's about a pound of fat every day, by the way. No exercise required. To schedule your free consultation, go to mnfatloss.com. That's mnfatloss.com. Results may vary. Be sure to tell the team at mnfatloss.com that Tom Barnard sent you. We are back, ladies and gentlemen, and I do love the fact that we count on Brittany to do all the mechanical engineering. I think it's brilliant.
Multi-talent. By all the mechanical stuff, I just have to turn on a camera. Rudy does everything else, but
yeah,
putting in the hard work here.
Well, you gotta get Gelfand straightened away time he gets here. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That
my
Gelfand?
Hard work. That was my attempt to.
Oh, I thought it was your impression of Gelfand, right?
Oh
there.
yeah.
Something like that. In any case, yeah. But he should be in the next 5-10 minutes, somewhere in there.
Love it.
Anything else interesting? You know, I haven't even looked at the headlines in the news today. I'm going to go there right now and see if there's anything like the Star Tribune that I should know about. We already heard about the Slug Fest at the St. Louis Park McDonald's. And again, I'm going to run for mayor of some town. I don't know which one it's going to be. But if you start a fight in a McDonald's, you're going to get your ass handed to you. What do you think of that?
I love that. You know how many people came up to me yesterday to tell me that Jesse Ventura was in the newspaper? And I said, I'm currently trying to manifest him on this show.
What did you reach out to him?
I don't have. I'm working on it.
He gotten back to you yet?
Nobody's gotten back.
I didn't think so.
We're working on it.
Jesse's very touchy about that kind of stuff. I ain't working with the guy because he was mean to me once. He made fun of me. It's like, settle down, you big baby.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good Ventura.
I know, he's good at it.
I didn't think you had that in you, but that's a great one.
He's there doing all. That's what I should do. Are there any impressionists anymore? Are they even around anymore?
So my buddy John Kite, who I go on the road with, is a guy who, when famous people like Jeff Bridges or Tom Hanks aren't available to do ADR work, to just add in a line to a movie, they bring John in to record as Tom Hanks or Jeff Bridges or Seth Rogen or whoever,
That makes sense. But as far as, like, back in the day on Johnny Carson, they would bring these. I was trying to think of the famous impressionists. I can't really remember their names anymore, but they would come. They were very, very good at it, and I was always fascinated by that. And I can do voices that kind of have a little element of my real voice. What are you doing? Get away from me.
I'm listening.
You were breathing on me.
You're pretty good. The ones that you do well.
Yeah, I don't. I should. You do have to work on that stuff.
You got a good Harry Carey. You got a good Sid Hartman. You got a good Ventura.
I still love Rodney Dangerfield.
That's a good one.
I just told that story on Sushi Show yesterday about the Jeff Cesario line, which is still my favorite. I think I told you that, didn't I? The Cesario line. God, I love that.
The
magnificent.
Stick to the tumbling.
Stick to the tumbling.
Yeah.
Why are you wearing a White Castle T-shirt?
Hang on. Sorry, he was going to be on the wrong. Hang on one second.
Hey, you're
Mike.
on the
There we
wrong
go.
microphone.
There you go. That's okay. Nope.
Why do I have to sit next to him? I told you I don't want to sit by Gelfand.
That's right. We got him now. Either one, Mike, is fine now. Yep.
He doesn't have any headphones on. What
I
are you
suppose,
doing?
This is just a little too intimate for me.
Well, then go sit over there. We'll turn that microphone
I'm
on
just
if you
kidding.
want. No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
I've known you long enough to know you're not kidding.
This is fine.
You're a disaster. Let me just point that out.
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
I'm here.
He goes, "Hey, Mike,
I'm
how you
alive."
doing?" Well, it's a good thing you're alive. So what's new? Anything good?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's a beautiful day. The Twins are still above 500.
Explain something to me. We were just talking about that with Chris Egert. How do you lose to horrible teams and then you beat Houston, which is a pretty damn good team, 2 out of 3? How does that happen?
It's mostly a flip of the coin when you're a 500 team.
Well, I suppose
you
that
can beat
makes
anyone
sense.
and you can lose to anyone.
Right. I suppose that does make sense, but I did not expect them to win 2 out of 3 from
No,
Houston.
I didn't either. But the pitching was the thing.
Yeah.
Their pitching was just better than Houston's.
Yep. Well, so in other words, you're telling me they didn't get to the bullpen much?
Well, when they did, it worked out okay.
It did.
So they got some arms, and I think they're going to be a solid 500 team all year.
Probably going to make the playoffs.
If they're 500, of course.
Yeah, if they're 500, they'll make the playoffs.
In this division, yeah.
God, that division's terrible.
They're like the Twins are like the hitless wonders.
Yeah. No, you're right about that. There's no question about it.
But as
whatever
long
works.
as charity is still alive and well in Minnesota, and if you don't believe it, just look at Max Kepler.
God, what happened to him?
How can he possibly be in the major leagues?
I know. What happened? I don't get it.
Well, he had like 2 good years. Like his first full year or maybe second year was pretty good.
Yep.
And then he had the juiced ball year.
Yeah,
and
that's
every
right.
other year
That's
was
right.
a disaster.
Yeah, I don't know. He's hurt right now, isn't he? Or is he back?
He's always hurt in some way. I don't think he was in great shape to begin the season. I mean, if you had hit like 212 or whatever he hit last year, which was just normal for him, slugging percentage of like 375 or something, wouldn't you? And you're 30 years old, which is you're not quite at your peak anymore, unless you're really good.
Right.
Wouldn't you devote the off season to getting better?
You would think.
But no, did he consult his dietary expert? Did he work out with his workout expert? No, he just went to Europe and, just saw the sights.
Well, I mean, I get a call from Brittany like 2-3 times a week saying, "Tom, I'm at home right now working on my delivery." And I would
Exactly.
That's what
My mic technique.
Your mic technique.
Always
She's working on it
at
at the house. Yeah, so you got to do this.
Well-
I'm this far away, like I'm supposed to be.
Yep, you know me, always perfecting the craft.
Oh yeah.
And that's why I spend probably at least 50 hours a week talking to myself.
Mm-hmm.
Because no one else is around. Is that what you're saying?
Well, because I'm a good listener.
Yeah, you to yourself.
Yeah,
You do a
not
great
to others,
job.
but to
No,
myself.
I understand that completely. There's no question about it, ladies and gentlemen. So what else? What else? So you got the Twins that they did win 2 out of 3 from Houston. I'm very, very impressed. What other good things are happening in life?
Well, we did get a little rain yesterday.
Did we really?
Was it
'Cause
yesterday or the day before?
It might have been the day before because
I think you're right.
Rudy, I think, was talking about that already this morning. It's supposed to rain all day today, and I don't think, or yesterday, excuse me, but it didn't rain at all. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think so. It's like 50. It's another 50-50 thing. We live in a 50-50 state.
We really do, don't we?
Yeah, and could be worse.
Some days I don't know if it could be worse. I got to be honest with you. Some days, I just people do get whipped up, and I suppose that's everywhere. They just get all whipped up about this, that, and the other thing, and it's like, oh, God, settle down for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
So in any case, what else in your life? Anything good?
Well, you know, I celebrated my birthday.
You had your birthday last week.
And I went
That's
to the
true.
Dairy Queen. And I love the Hopkins Dairy Queen.
Where's that now? The Hopkins Dairy Queen.
That's on the it's on the not exactly on the rise part of Main Street.
Oh, it is really?
It's in the like the Real People line of.
Is it down toward 169?
So it's way down toward it's on the western edge of Main Street in Hopkins.
Oh, okay.
So like it's about maybe 17th Street.
Is that kind of a few blocks away from where the movie theater used to be?
Yeah.
Yeah, there. That's what I thought.
Yeah,
okay, so I know where you're talking.
It's down a little bit to the west.
And there's a short film available.
Yes, that's right. That's right. My buddy Jeff Strait, who's a great camera guy, producer, director, writer. He does it all. I said to him, let's go to Dairy Queen and we'll celebrate my birthday with a medium cup of vanilla Dairy Queen.
Sure.
Because I'm really off the mic. I'm a kind of a vanilla kind of guy.
You're a vanilla. Yeah. Yeah. I've always known you to be that the last 40 years.
Yeah. So we went out there, and it's basically it's the typical Dairy Queen that is still standing, because you know, like the chill and grill ones, mostly they were just sold for the land because
were they really?
Because Warren Buffett and
he bought them all, yeah.
Well, he did, and then he figured out he talked about how much he loved Dairy Queen. Oh, you know, I'm buying Dairy Queen because I want to preserve this great American institution. Well, you know what that means. Sold them as fast as he could.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what he discovered was he didn't like Dairy Queen as much as he liked selling them for the land.
Yes, I do understand. Remember who he bought it from? Who he bought Dairy Queen from?
Who?
I'm almost certain this is true, but he bought it from Rudy Luther.
Are you kidding me?
We could look that up. Because
Wow.
somebody look that up. When did Rudy Luther own Dairy Queen? I'm almost certain that's true.
Well, because it was always the headquarters was always in Minnesota.
Yeah.
I think it was in Edina, wasn't it?
Absolutely, right there along Highway 100.
So now I guess the headquarters is probably in Omaha.
Yeah, because that's where Warren Buffett is. That's
Yeah.
true. And does his wife still live upstairs and his girlfriend live downstairs?
Is that right?
That's a true story. Yeah. His wife lives on one floor of his house, and his girlfriend lives on the other floor of the house.
That's what I call double jeopody.
Yeah, I would say so.
Not, you know what? Some days that doesn't seem like a bad situation for anybody involved.
Well, I'll tell your husband that. He'll
That's
be
what I'm
happy
saying.
to hear that. That'd be great.
If he just had a girlfriend, like she can get the annoying parts. Like,
yeah.
Wouldn't it be great though if you did that? If your wife lived on one floor, your girlfriend lived on another floor, and you came home from work one day and go, God damn it! I hate to tell you this, honey, but we have to add a third floor. That'd be fabulous.
we're gonna have to do a walkout in the basement.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do a walkout in the basement.
And you know, that's a reminder to me that there are some married people who actually live in the same house.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. That wouldn't work for me.
I know somebody that's been married for 50 damn years, and they've never lived together.
Never.
Never lived together.
Wow. Because I think, you know, I'm at the point where I live together. I lived with my wife for probably half the years we were married.
There's only half, really?
About half, yeah.
I didn't know it was only half. I thought it was a little more than that. But
It's about half, yeah.
it all works out.
Yeah.
I was at the St. Louis Park Lunds Byerly's, and she wasn't in there yesterday. She's always in there when I go in there.
Really? I was in there yesterday.
What time did you go in? I just must have missed you.
Oh, gosh, I think it was like about 2 o'clock.
Yeah, I was busy. I
Yeah.
was running around like a madman. I was just listening to Judd Zulgad.
Oh, that
on the Skor
idiot. Are you kidding me?
Oh, that idiot.
Jeez. What is it with this guy? Wait a minute.
Hey, guys,
Oh,
what's
there
up?
he
What's
is.
going on?
Hey,
Nice
gang,
to see
here
you.
he is
Happy
now.
birthday, Mike.
What's that?
I said happy belated birthday.
Oh, thank you. Yes, it was a belated birthday, and I hope to have at least one or two more. But as I say
nice.
this every year, if you bet the over, you get to cash your ticket.
I like it.
I turned 73.
So you turned 73?
And so, you know, most people bet the under, but...
You look a lot better than Al Pacino at 83, I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
You see
well,
his
that's because I
picture?
now have another kid coming.
Do you believe he's having a baby at 83 years old? How irresponsible are you?
I don't get that.
I don't either. It pisses me off.
I know. I agree. Little baby's going to have no dad forever.
I know. It's like, what does he think? Like, he's looking forward to seeing his kid graduate from nursery school.
That's it.
You know what you got to do,
That's
though,
it,
if you're
yeah.
the kid?
Huh.
Yeah, my dad never lived with us, but it was okay because he was Italian. Wouldn't it be great just go after his ethnicity?
Right?
I love it.
Why not?
Why wouldn't you?
Why
ladies and
not?
gentlemen?
That inheritance, though, that don't sleep on that, though. Like,
No.
if you're that
Nope.
kid, I mean, I'm not saying dads aren't important, but that's a hell of an inheritance
Yeah.
that you get pretty quickly there.
I think it'll move the kid from ambivalence to a moderate amount of joy.
Or a deep love?
Maybe even a deep love.
Because I checked just now. Al's worth $100 million.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
You know, I knew this guy. I can't say his name because I don't want to. I just want to impugn his memory. But
Impugn?
Yeah.
Like
And
Sid Hartman.
So it wasn't Sid Hartman. It was a guy who was pretty rich.
Okay.
And he had gotten remarried when he was, I don't know, 75. So I'm walking down the street one day in Dinkytown, walking down the street, and I look up, and there he is. And at this point, he's like, you know, about 77 years old.
He's in Dinkytown. This is interesting.
And he's pushing a stroller.
Okay.
It's his kid. And I know this guy.
And he's 77.
It's about 77. So
Baby in the stroller.
Baby in the stroller.
Okay.
And I knew the guy. I didn't know him well, but I knew him, and he knew me. And so he's sort of doddering down the street, pushing the stroller, and he looks up at me, and he sees me, and he doesn't say hi, Mike, or how you doing. He says, Mike, don't even think about it.
Well, that's nice of him. That's very, very kind. No question about it. So, Judd, I was over in your building yesterday for a while. Went on Susha's show, had a great time.
Awesome.
They're very, very complimentary. Really, 4 very, very nice guys. Really, really pleasant to deal with. It was, but I'm going to tell you, I already brought this up this morning once, but every time I walk in that building, I can still remember when I was 18 and walked in that building for the very first time. And now I look at all these years later, and it's like, remember how I was terrified at 18 years old going, okay, they're going to turn a mic on, and I have to think about something to talk about. I got to think something up.
At 18, absolutely. 18, my God.
I was
so
18 years old.
I got a question.
Yes,
was
sir.
that building that size then? Because to me, it looks like it's been
added on.
Added on to about
Yep.
12 times, but that's just my guess.
It was the original, when I first worked there all those years ago, the light brown part of the building was not there. And if it was there, it was not connected to the other building. So there might have been a building there. I don't remember, but it was not connected to the other building. I know that. But that building is such a class. I still am pissed off, though. They covered up that floor in the lobby. That pisses me off to no end. Because there's nothing like an 18-year-old boy with his left foot on the left side and his right foot on the right side of the K to show if you were in Minneapolis or St. Paul.
That's right. That's right. Yes. That was awesome.
I
That's
love
right.
that thing.
I forgot about that.
I'm going to make them tear it up again. And I
Make
can't
that a condition
exactly
of your agreement. You got to tear that up. Get that back for me.
I learned something yesterday. I didn't see her name tag, so I don't know her name. She's a young woman, looks to be about maybe 35 years old, African-American woman.
Alice.
Is it Alice?
I know who you're talking
Security
about.
officer? Yeah, Alice, right?
Okay, let me tell you something about Alice. I don't know I'd want to fight her.
I love Alice so much.
She, man, I tell you what, though, she could whip some ass. I can tell just by looking at her. She was great.
Yeah, she's one of my favorite people in
Yeah.
that building. Alice is amazing, and she loves you. And yes, she is.
She didn't even know who I was.
She knows who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows Tom. You can't hide.
You mean like the parole board?
Well, there's that. But
There's that part. She didn't act like she had any idea who the hell I was.
Well, yeah, she's.
So maybe it wasn't her.
No, it was.
It was her. Yeah, front desk.
Front desk.
Yeah, that's
her. Yeah.
Alice because she
She's
works
about-
until about 3. Yeah.
I mean, she's a very broad-shouldered woman.
Yeah.
She's a big woman.
Oh,
very
she's the
broad-shouldered.
best. She's.
But she was like, honestly, I was like, I don't know where they are. They're gonna tell them to come up here and
I
get
know
you.
you have to have all your security stuff. She
Oh, yeah.
finally
Oh,
is
yeah.
like,
She's big
fine,
on
because I
that.
forget my ID all the time. She's like, Brittany, come on. Like, it's so funny.
She was big on that one. That's all I
I
have to say.
love that woman.
But it also makes me miss people like Charlie Bush and Steve Hatley, Joe Hager. Most of those guys are not with us anymore. Just those guys died very young, too. Very sad.
Yeah, it is sad.
Hatley, motorcycle accident. He calls me one day. He says, Tommy, I'm so happy I finally did it. I saved up enough money and I bought the motorcycle I've been dreaming about my whole life. And about 7 days later, he was dead. That's great. Died in a motorcycle accident. That happens.
So at least we can say that he died doing what he loved.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, there's a great video of a guy who was like, you know what? Just retired from the post office. I'm going to get on my Gold Wing and I'm going to take it all the way across. I'm going to take it across the country. And they're like, well, when's how long you been riding a motorcycle? He's like, my first time on one. And they're like, all right. The guy turns the motorcycle around and he gets about 12 feet through the parking lot and he smashes it right into the side of a car. Never quite made it to the ocean.
I have never had any. I've ridden as a passenger on Actually, I drove a motorcycle one time. It was like a Honda 60.
Sure.
Yeah.
So those are not very fast, I don't think, if I remember correctly.
No, but they're fun.
Yeah. I literally had no interest in driving a motorcycle.
We always had little dirt bikes around and would jump on those and
Dirt
stuff.
bikes I will do, but
Super fun. And if you feel, ours were so little, you could jump off at any point if you got nervous. But
I don't trust people on the street enough to ride a motorcycle. It's
also
everybody else, it's the problem.
I also hate being cold, and I feel like I don't want to be exposed. Like we have a I have a
You have
convertible.
the coldest heart of anyone I know. What
Yeah,
are you
that's
talking
why
about?
I don't want to be cold on the outside.
It's cold.
So
Only
it's
on
because
the
you don't want to be cold, not because you don't want to die, not because
Correct.
you're afraid. You just don't want to be chilled.
Correct, Judd. I actually don't think about death in me all that often. Like it doesn't kind of go hand in hand. But
Well, it's good to know.
Yeah.
Good for you. I'm glad that
It's somewhat troublesome if you do.
Yeah. So when things are going
Well, come on,
well,
Mike.
I don't think about death that often.
Right.
That's good. Don't think about death ever. It's a good plan.
Mike, you know as well as I do, and I'm guessing Tom too, we all think about death.
Well, of course. You
We
can't.
do?
Well, what we think about is our mortality. Putting it in that terms,
I haven't started that yet.
We don't necessarily think of ourselves, in the memory care unit.
No, I don't want to be in the memory care unit.
But
I want a piece of bread.
But we think
No, shut up.
We think
Sorry, I was doing a reenactment of the nurse.
Well, that was, my dad.
Thank you.
My dad was in memory care,
Oh,
so it was
no,
over.
that's too
It was
bad.
over,
Yep.
and he wasn't talking. He wouldn't talk to anyone at that point. Even if he could have, he wouldn't have.
Yep.
And so one night the nurse brings him his dinner, and it's a memory care dinner. Which is like meatloaf or something.
Oh,
they call
sure.
I think you can call anything meatloaf.
Yes,
right?
yes.
There's no designated definition.
True.
So it's like meatloaf and mashed potatoes and a lot of gravy. And my dad, who hasn't spoken in I don't know, a week at least, maybe a couple, he looks at it and he says his final words, which are, "I don't eat that shit."
Oh, yeah. There you go. I told you my mother's final words to me.
Yeah.
My
what was it
God.
again?
I think I told this a couple of weeks ago on the show, but, listeners come and go, right?
Yeah.
So I find out that I have to leave town. I have to leave town for like 2 weeks. My mother's in, what's it when you're
Hospice?
teetering? Yeah, hospice, I guess. Yeah, maybe when you're teetering on the brink.
Yeah, that's hospice. for
So
sure.
that would be hospice, yeah. So I go to see my mother, and she's lying in bed, and I'm holding her hand. And this is such a toots thing to do. So her whole life, she's a big-time Roman Catholic. Like I said, had a big picture of the Pope and Jesus and Dean Martin up on the wall.
That's so cool.
Because Dean was a nice Italian boy, so she had to put his picture up on the wall. But there was one other one, too. Who the hell was the other one? It was Jesus. It was the Pope.
Probably Kennedy.
JFK?
Oh, it was. Yeah, absolutely. It was JFK.
Oh.
Because he was a Catholic president,
Yeah.
baby.
Whoever thought there'd be a Catholic president, or for that matter, a Catholic on the Supreme Court, or for that matter, all the people on the Supreme Court. You people own this country now.
Catholics?
Oh, absolutely.
Us people.
Well, that's true. Biden's Catholic. I forgot
Yeah,
about that.
mhm,
Biden's
yeah.
Roman Catholic. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem very Catholic-y to me, I got to be honest with you.
Well, I think Catholics are a little more. They're a little more subtle these days. They're a little more
chilled out.
Yeah,
Why does everybody hate Catholics now in America? What happened?
Oh, I don't think they do.
Oh, God, that's all you ever hear is negative stuff about Catholics on the news.
I think it's one thing, abortion.
Oh, that's true. That would make sense.
Catholics are like I'm Catholic and I'm not, but you've got such a large group now of Catholics that are pro-life and trying to weigh in on rights. Let's say that.
How about this? I'll take care of my family. You take care of yours. How about that?
Yep.
That's a good one, isn't it?
Yes. Nice.
I'd like to hang on to all the people in my family. I'd love it. There's no question about it. Anyway, what the hell is that? Oh,
so your mom.
I go visit my mom in hospice, and she's laying in bed, and I'm holding her hand, and I start talking about this, that, and the other thing. I said, Mom, I have to leave town for a couple of weeks. She goes, well, so this will be the last time I ever see you. I said, what are you talking about? She goes, I'm not going to live much longer. I said, well, don't say that. She goes, no, I know it. If you're leaving for 2 weeks, I'll never see you again. So I'm like, okay, this is great. So I said, Mom, okay, let me put it this way. Let's say I never see you again, that you die while I'm gone for that 2-week period. But the great thing for you is that you've always admired the Virgin Mary. See, she went beyond Jesus. The holiest of them had to be a woman.
Oh, of course.
It couldn't be a
guy. And that's a healthy perspective.
She was such a big fan of Jesus. She even liked the band. She liked the whole band.
Yeah, she liked the whole deal.
Crew.
But she was even bigger on the Virgin Mary.
Yeah.
She's huge on the Virgin Mary. So I said, Mom, just think about this. When you die, you'll go to heaven, and you can meet Jesus, and you can meet the Virgin Mary. I mean, just imagine it, Mom. You will stand there face to face, meeting the Virgin Mary. And there's a long pause. She goes, yeah, well, don't give me that.
You know why?
You've been telling me your whole life this is what you believe, and you never believed it.
So, no, it's not even that.
God.
I honestly think you're reflecting on this wrong. I think she knew that that is such crap in your mind that when you're saying
you think she just
was saying,
okay.
you know what,
Maybe.
not from you. Like, you know what? It's like you're walking around. It'd be like if you were like, you know what, Brittany, I'm so excited for you to go watch The Real Housewives in person. I'd go, I don't want to hear this from you. Okay. So I think that's what it was like. It was like, come on, Tom.
You probably have a good point. It probably was.
Don't do this.
Yeah, don't give me that.
Yeah, you whatever. So
yeah, it's possible. Either that or it's you're just your basic deathbed epiphany.
Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, now I want to do an impression of my mother answering the telephone.
Okay.
So, okay, which one of you is calling me, and I'll pretend I'm my mother answering the phone.
Oh, that'd be Brittany.
Okay.
And this is 100% accurate, too, and I'm not exaggerating. Go ahead. Hello.
Hi, is your wife there?
Yeah, because she had a very deep voice, as Drew. She did. She had a very deep voice.
Can I speak to the woman of the house?
Yeah, can I speak to the woman? But she, honest to God, she'd go, hello.
I love that. I love that. That's the only reason I said that wife because you always told me that everyone always thought it was the man of the house.
Every time somebody called who didn't know her, they go, Mr. Barnard? No, this is Mrs. Barnard.
No, you're talking to the lady of the house.
You're talking to the lady of the house.
Act accordingly. I love that.
Toots. She's probably in heaven listening right now.
Was your mom a smoker or did she is that it?
Okay. Oh God.
Okay. And I'm not trying
to.
A
whole different topic. It sounds like.
Oh my God! It's like. So, Tom, do you think 2 at once is enough? It's like, Jesus, Mom, for Christ's sake.
So what are we talking about? Are we talking about like Pall Malls or Camels?
She started with Pall Malls. Very good call.
Yeah.
Pall Mall straights, too, by the way.
Of course.
No, there's none of that filter shit.
Yeah, none of that crap.
But she ended up with Winston's.
Winston's.
Because I think and you know why, and I'm not kidding you?
I have no idea.
Because they were plugged by Fred Flintstone.
Oh, that's funny.
She loved that. They loved those Fred Flintstone because he and Barney would, Barney, I'm having another Winston.
And yeah.
God, I miss those days. I miss the 60s. That type of stuff. Fred Flintstone. Hey,
Fred
it's
Barney.
Fred for cigarettes.
For cigarettes.
Yeah, and you just couldn't do that today.
No, they won't let you get away with that.
You know why? It's the woke culture.
Typical.
They've taken away cartoon characters, chain smoking.
You can do all the heroin you want, but no smoking. That's all.
Enjoying a scotch and a cigarette at the Flintstones' house. Hey, Wilma, get me one of those. Get me a scotch.
I suppose we better hop off to an ad here, should we not? That would make sense. We'll be back in just a couple minutes. More with Judd Zulgad, remotely Mike Gelfand in studio. We'll be right back.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show.
This is Bob Sansevier, and I want to tell you about Dave Bialki from Bialki Law. Dave represented my wife, Mary, when she had a significant workplace injury. She was very happy with the job Dave did. If you have a work-related injury and have Dave represent you, I'm betting you'll be happy too. Dave is a down-to-earth guy. He grew up in northern Minnesota, rides a Harley, and worked various jobs doing concrete, electrical, plumbing, roofing, and carpentry work. Dave works for people with work-related injuries. If you work construction, or anywhere for that matter, and you're hurt or even just hurting, you should talk to Dave. Let's face it, our bodies wear out. If your body is worn out from work, if your knees or back or shoulders hurt from things you do at work, do what Mary did. Call Dave and talk to him about it at Bialki Law to set up a free initial consultation. The number to call is 763-571-2410. That's 763-571-2410. Or visit bialkilaw.com. That's BIALKE law.com.
There's a guy named Tom Cross who likes to do kite things. Tom takes the phrase, go fly a kite, to an extreme, and for years goes all over the country in search of great kite flying events. Lincoln City, Oregon comes to mind, with Chinook winds and 7 miles of pristine beach that draws folks from all over North America for the best kite flying conditions in the world. Tom brings a little Minnesota with him when he goes to Lincoln City in his new Forest River RV Rockwood Roo, 19 expandable trailer, of course, that he hauls from Niemeyer Trailer Sales in Albertville and Elko Newmarket, Minnesota. Niemeyer Trailer Sales is the only place Tom would prepare his next kite flight. Solar panels, full bath, exterior griddle, double-door refrigerator, queen beds, and sleeps 6 every night in the RV Rockwood from the place that is your family-owned guide to RV trailers and truck accessories since 1965. This is Tom. Visit my friends at Niemeyer Trailer Sales and take your passion on the road. Niemeyer Trailer Sales. Go to NIEMEYERS.com. Niemeyer Trailer Sales.
All right, it's warming up to the point where we're putting on our old summer clothes. Judd, how are things fitting? How are the transition to hot clothes feeling for you?
It's absolutely great, and that's because a couple of years ago, I dropped 40 pounds thanks to my friends at Livia Weight Control Centers. And Brittany, the good news is that if folks out there are trying to drop weight too, how about dropping 15 or more pounds by the 4th of July? Right now, a special 1-week offer is on. It's their premier all-access offer, 50% off, plus a free gift. But the offer ends Friday. Again, all-access offer, 50% off, plus a free gift. Just call 855-GO LIVEA or go to Livia, LIVEA, Livia.com, so that if those clothes don't fit now, they sure will in a few weeks.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I think we might have gotten into the wrong business. We got into the radio at first, now podcasting, all the rest of it. I was thinking about starting a health insurance company. Back, 30, well, actually it was 52 years ago when I first got into radio. I was only 18 years old. I was thinking about starting an insurance company. And I guess I should have, because did you see the revenue amount released for United Health?
It's got to be staggering.
I'll tell you how much in revenue. United Health again tops the list of Minnesota public companies with the revenue $324 billion.
Dang.
Jesus. Why don't you we should do a United Health podcast. We'll charge them $1 million a piece, right?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
It's only going to cost them $4 million a year out of $324 billion. Who cares?
I cannot stress enough that I will literally talk about whatever anyone wants. If they pay enough, I'll say whatever anyone wants.
Well, wait a minute. I cut Judd out of that. It's 5 people. We each get $1 billion.
Oh, thank you very much, Tom. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'd be willing to split it 5 ways.
Yeah, 5 ways on $1 billion. Mm-hmm. That works for me. You get $200 million.
Who owns United Health?
It's a publicly held company.
Who's the CEO?
I don't. He just retired.
I think he did. Yeah, because I think he might be one of the richest guys in Minnesota. Right?
He retired. I believe his severance package was $250 million.
God, can he get by on that?
I don't. How's he? $250 million? You're going to get by on that? What the hell? You know,
there's the private jet. There's the 2 homes.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's going to be a bitch.
Might be tough.
Yeah, the 2 wives.
You know what's so amazing? United Health Group is 2 or 3. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
United Health is number 1 at $458.4 billion in market capitalization. $459 billion, let's say. Number 2 is Target at $72 billion. So they're $380 billion above number 2.
Someday, some country, some really enlightened country is gonna come along and say, you know what, we can just give everybody health care, and it'll be a taxation thing. So we'll tax everybody, and then everybody will get health care, and we won't have to advertise it. So we get rid of all the marketing costs. We can negotiate with the pharmacies. It'll be great for everyone. Don't you think that could happen someday?
It would be nice if they want to chop up that $459 billion to help people pay their medical bills. That would be great, don't you think?
I guess it can't happen, but not here.
I just don't understand what the hell we're doing. I really don't get it. There's no doubt about it. So is Target still taking a punch for that other stuff they did? Whatever that. Somebody told me they're down like $10 billion in revenue or something. That can't be possible, can it?
No, it's not. I read headlines and said Target has lost $10 billion.
Right.
And I'm thinking, wow, that's a lot. But as it turned out, all it was a drop in the cost of the stock. So the stock price went down.
Yeah, by $10 billion.
So the market cap went down by $10 billion or whatever. But those things come and go. So it's a temporary thing. And if it did have anything at all to do with how many boycotts are out there now?
All of them that there possibly can be.
I mean,
Bud Light, right?
Bud Light is in big trouble. I know that.
That was a big one.
Remember the days when you could just buy a product because you liked the product?
I do remember that, and I still do that. By the way,
I still do too. I mean,
I do.
That's
a rat's ass. Anybody?
That's crazy.
The top 5 money-making companies in the state of Minnesota, 3 of them are medical.
Yeah.
Dang.
And you'll see that in almost every state now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The 2 that aren't are Target and 3M. Now, Minnesota Mining and Manufacturing, make it 4M and be medical.
Yeah.
So that'd be good. Be 4M instead of 3M. But yeah, 3. So will we ever get to a point where everybody can afford health insurance?
Well, not under the current system.
No. I just don't see how it could possibly happen.
There's too many lobbyists out there making sure it never happens.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. This whole hedge fund lobbyist thing is getting really old to me. I got to be very honest with you. We'll tell you what to do. Why? So you can make all the money.
And the great thing about the hedge funds is, we've talked about them before, but the great thing is, there's this special tax thing for them.
Yeah, there is. Absolutely, there is.
It's crazy.
I know. You get special non-taxes.
We got to pay our taxes, but the hedge funds don't.
No, you're absolutely. I'm right there, shoulder to shoulder with you, because I can't stand it anymore. I can't even talk about that crap anymore.
I think everybody except me should have to pay taxes.
I agree. Not you, but all the rest of us should have to cough up. I can be honest with you, Mike. Your boy over here pays a lot of taxes.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of taxes.
Well, that's because you don't own a hedge fund.
Yeah, I should have started a hedge fund.
Start a hedge fund.
It's
never too late.
Yeah, why not?
What would it be? The hedge fund based on what?
See, well, the problem you have is, you're not rich enough to not pay taxes.
No, that's exactly right. If I could just get wealthy, then I wouldn't have to pay taxes anymore. There's no question about it. I just, but that's. Do you think part of that is because, and again, it's not a party thing. It's a job title. These politicians we have in America are the filthiest human beings I have ever seen. God, they're filthy now. All of them.
Well, usually, like when you see the approval ratings of Congress, it's like 12% or something.
Exactly. It's not very high.
Used car salesmen are actually held in more esteem than
disc jockeys,
than members of Congress. Yeah.
No,
well, not disc jockeys.
Not disc jockeys. They didn't make it.
No.
No, I tell you, honest to God, I watch these people because I don't watch a lot of that news anymore. They get too extreme for me.
Yeah.
But I tune in once in a while and I go, "That's bullshit. That's bullshit. That's a lie." All they do is lie. They just sit on the news every night and lie, and the politicians go, "Yes, you're absolutely right." I just love this whole all-star wrestling thing going on right now. We're on the brink of passing some important stuff, but there's just a heartbeat away. They're going to they're not going to let the economy collapse. Why would they do that?
Well, some people would have, but there was a sanity there amidst all.
Why
the
would
insanity.
you let the economy collapse? For what reason would you let that happen?
When did the divide get so great, too? Like, when did it go from being parties that had beliefs, but there was, some bipartisan acceptance of things. It felt like, to being this just, vengeful. If you screw us, we'll screw you right back.
I'm not sure, but I think I saw it was 1777, not 6. So it lasted 1 year.
Well, the old Citizens United thing obviously didn't help when they just opened the floodgates of money.
What's Citizens United? No,
well,
I
that
do
was when
remember
the
that
Supreme
title.
Court said that money is speech and
money. That's right.
Corporations are people.
That's right.
I've never seen a corporation that could speak to me. Say, Mike.
No, you're right.
It's call me back. This is United Health calling, and I just wanted to chat. Thought we could get together and have coffee. It's not
How are
gonna
you
happen.
doing?
Yeah, exactly. But I will say
Let's
this.
go and get a bite to eat. Yeah.
The guys who really earn their money, the multi-millionaires, we're going to be watching them tonight on TV.
What's on TV tonight?
It's the NBA Finals.
Oh, that's right. It's the finals now.
Yeah.
Who's in it? I don't even pay attention anymore.
The Heat and the Nuggets.
Yes, I couldn't care less.
Denver's.
You still won't watch, though.
No.
Denver's.
It's not that attractive.
No.
It's supposed to be it's a slam dunk. Denver's favored by, I think it's like 9.5 points tonight. I don't know if I've ever seen that in a first game of an NBA Finals.
Why did they name their team the Denver Nuggets? Nuggets based on what?
Gold.
There was gold found in Denver. I never knew that. Colorado has a lot of gold in Denver.
A lot of guys out there doing what do you call it? Not panhandling, when they sift for gold. Yeah, a lot of the rivers and stuff.
They really still do that?
No, I mean, not
Look at
anymore.
that, Rudy. That's impressive.
Yeah, back in the
I
day.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did
Where
not
it
know
came
that
from back
either.
in the day. Yeah, they did a lot of the rivers of the Rocky Mountains. Yeah.
They were going to call themselves the Jazz, but Utah has that.
Utah already stole that.
Jazz,
I
baby.
still will never forget
and
that.
then they thought, well, we'll call ourselves the Lakers, but of course, the driest state in the country has that.
It has the Lakers, exactly. What's the name of that lake there right in L.A. again?
Let's
the
see.
La Brea Tar Pits?
Yeah. Well, there is such a thing as the Los Angeles River.
Yeah, there is.
You
You're
can
right.
just see it trickling into the gutters.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yes,
They used
exactly.
to, they used to float gondolas on that river? An Italian guy came
Really?
and built it out. He put up all that brickwork and all the rest of it, and he ran gondolas up and down that canal. That's pretty damn impressive, don't you think?
Yeah.
That is.
I don't know. Like I said, it's just this whole thing. $435 billion. Excuse me, $458 billion. That's a lot of money.
Well,
What do you think?
next time I'm lying flat on a gurney, and they're injecting some horrible tube into my body.
Sure.
I'll just smile and think, I'm helping the economy.
You're helping the economy out.
Oh,
man.
a lot too, because the cost of that tube is about what, $5,000 just to start the IV.
Oh yeah, well they'll charge you like $20 to give you some Tylenol, which is a placebo.
That's why you have to bring your own Tylenol and your own tubing.
Yeah.
Bring your own tubing.
Thanks, Brittany.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Swing by Menards on my way to the hospital. You guys got any 3/8 tubing?
No, don't use that
I
one.
got this.
You can't even have them open it up. Don't even open it up. Nope, I got my own. Already started the IV.
Well, I like it when they, I've been in the hospital a couple times, kidney stone things, that kind of thing.
Yeah, sure.
And of course they always say, well, you can't bring your own medication there. What are you talking about? I've got this container. It's got my name on it, and if I don't take these pills, I get very depressed. Nope. We'll have to get our pharmacy to supply them.
God.
So of course, I'm getting them for like 3 cents a hit, right?
Sure.
But it's like $10 a hit from the pharmacy.
In the hospital, yes, exactly.
And never say, by the way, if you're in the hospital or something, and they say, "Oh, how are you feeling?" Never say, I'd really like a hit of morphine.
Probably not.
No.
Probably not a good thing to say. It's all true. I don't know. This whole. The more I look at those numbers, I just go, really? This is what medicine's all about, is it?
Well, yeah. I mean, this is exactly what it's about.
It'd be nice if they kept people healthy.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you this much: when I had to be in the hospital, the nurses are fantastic.
Oh, they're amazing.
Well, the nurses are great. Yeah, you're right.
They're so committed,
You're
and
right.
and they make decent money, but they earn every penny of it.
Yep.
19 years old, Idle Hospital, which is not even there anymore.
I remember up in Loring Park, right?
Loring Park, baby. You used to live right across the street. Now it's 19 years old. Dr. Louis Zarent was our doctor forever when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And he was in that little medical building right across the street.
I was born, at a hospital which is long gone, which was in Loring Park. It was called Maternity Hospital.
Maternity Hospital.
Yeah.
Yep, there you go. But I'm 19. I had started lifting weights at a much younger age, so I needed my first hernia surgery.
Oh, my God.
Of 2.
19?
Oh, yeah, 19. I had hernia surgery.
Well, what's the problem? They just make an incision, reach in, pull everything out, put it back in.
Yeah, it's true.
And sew you up.
So this would have been 1969, I guess it would be. Mm-hmm. 1969. I go in to have hernia surgery. And I'm reading a book called Black Power. Remember all those books came out?
Yeah.
The Last Poets came out with their albums, and the Black Power books came out. So I was trying to learn a few things because, I guess, about half the people I knew in North Minneapolis were black, and I'm trying to figure out what this is all about. And I'm reading it on the gurney as she's pushing me into the operating room. And she goes, "What are you reading?" And I said, "The book's called Black Power." She goes, "Why are you reading that book?" I said, "I just thought I'd try to learn a little more about different culture, that kind of thing." And she goes, "Huh, really?" Because I'll tell you one thing, son. Being a black woman in America today, the more you read Black Power, the more they're going to whoop your ass. I will never forget her. She was just wonderful. Then she got this big smile on her face like, hey, he liked that, didn't he? She was terrific. What the hell? So whose ass are we whipping out there in sports now, Judd? Anybody? Is anybody good?
Well, the Twins won last night.
They did.
No
2 out of 3.
Correa, no Buxton.
Right.
No Royce last night. And guess what? They scored, eight runs? They actually had, I believe it was 2 hits with the bases loaded. They now have 7 hits this season. They're like 7 for 49. I know. It was incredible. It was absolutely incredible. So, yes, your Twins won last night. You should be very happy about it.
That is wonderful. That's almost 13%, you know.
And now they're taking on their biggest rival today.
Themselves? They're playing themselves?
They're playing.
The Guardians are in town.
Yeah, the
Cleveland, baby.
The fierce Cleveland Guardians.
Could I ask you a question?
Yeah, the Guardians.
Why is it offensive to honor a tribe of people in America? I still have never understood why that's offensive. Because they're making money off it?
Maybe.
I mean, I don't get it. I always took it that they were honoring Indians.
Well, like we talked about the first segment of the show today, when you have no problems in a society, you create problems by saying, "Hey, this is racist against this group of people," and the group of people that should care don't. Going to northern Minnesota, I hang out with a lot of Indian people, and none of them have ever been like, what they need to do? They need to change that logo. They could care less. Yeah.
I couldn't agree. It's a white people thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Well, all of this stuff is white people stuff.
As Jamie Kennedy pointed out yesterday.
He was great.
Women in their 40s who are white who drink White Claw. Brittany, it is your fault that all of this is happening.
You literally described nothing about me just now.
Brittany's fault.
Except the vagina. There was nothing that would describe me at all.
Bringing that up in front of me. I've known you since you were 19 years old.
You know that I've always had a vagina.
No,
right?
That's not what I heard.
I rarely use it, but it's there.
I rarely use it.
I'm sorry, guys.
Nice.
Jesus, thanks for that.
You're welcome.
All right, you and I should leave early today, don't you think?
Hey, Tom, I got to run.
Oh, you do got to go. I'm sorry.
I'll see you guys on Tuesday.
All right, see you, buddy.
Bye, Judd.
No worries.
See you, Judd.
Judd Zulgad, ladies and gentlemen. Skor North is all I know.
See what happened?
We scared him off.
I know.
You
He's
said
still smiling
vagina,
at me.
and
was
Judd
out.
left immediately.
I have that effect on men, I've noticed.
I can hear him in the background now. He's saying, "Look, I can't be on anymore. All I can think about is Brittany's vagina. I can't do the show today."
It's created life, people.
Creative life.
It's created a human.
And it is
That's
ironic.
true.
It is ironic that destroys my image of her, which is as a mother.
Yeah.
I hate when those
always been
coincide. I'm sorry. I should have had one another way. A C-section would have been far better for you.
A C-section.
Then I wouldn't even had to use that thing down there.
I would have thrown in a 20 just to fund it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Doesn't sound like a bad idea.
Yeah, except C-sections, man. Women that have C-sections, that's a rough go.
Tough row to hoe.
Yeah, some of them can't even hold their own kiddo because it's weight limit of holding it because that's your cord just ripped open. Oh,
That's why my mother chain smoked when she was pregnant.
Yeah.
So if she had to have a C-section, she could still carry me.
There you go.
Because, what? He weighs 5 pounds? Oh, I needed to smoke more.
Yeah, there you go.
That was so
Cut
funny.
her down to about 3.5.
Yeah.
Between cigarettes and then undiagnosed gestational diabetes, they were having the smallest and biggest babies ever.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because gestational. My mom was 10 pounds. All of my her brothers and sisters were in the 10-pound. And we go back and go, of course, she had diabetes and it was undiagnosed.
Yeah,
so you had.
we didn't. Why was I so big?
What's that?
Why was I so big? Because my mother didn't
Didn't
have
diabetes. I don't know.
I'd go with the recessive gene theory.
Recessive gene, that I'm really a monkey?
Yeah, because you're,
Is that what you're saying?
your dad was how tall?
My father was 5'8".
and
5'7".
And your mom?
My mother was about 5'2".
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where you get the height.
And my tallest sibling, well, my brothers are about 5'7", 5'8".
Wow, it's incredible.
And I was 6'1" at my height. I'm about 6 feet now, but I was 6'1".
Mm-hmm.
Well, my name is Thomas because they thought I was twins. That's true. I'm not kidding you. My name is Thomas because Thomas does mean twin. Because they picked. I was so big they picked up like 2 heartbeats.
They called me Mike because I was miniature.
See, Mikey, little Mikey.
Miniature, yeah.
I get it. I understand the whole damn thing, no question about it. But Marky Merrow's still the biggest one that I've ever heard of. He was a friend of mine when I was a kid. Grew to be about 6'4", probably, about 220. Big guy.
Yeah.
When he was born, he weighed 13.3 pounds.
That's almost twice.
13.
That's almost twice the amount of go-go.
Natural childbirth, too, by the way.
Wow.
Natural childbirth.
Holy buckets.
He was a big baby.
It's no wonder so many women have this horrible depression after they give birth.
Yeah, you would think. Having to spit that out, that's got to be kind of a bitch, I would imagine.
My mom got ahead of the curve, and she just started being depressed when she was a kid. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And she thought maybe a kid would help that out.
Although, of course, on her deathbed, she did say that she was.
Oh.
Her depression came because she gave birth to me.
To you, I know that.
She
story.
really did say that.
Oh, she did. She absolutely did.
You can almost wear that as a badge of honor. That out of all the things, she goes back to you, Mike.
I mean, if that is not the humor of my culture,
right?
It just defines it.
That's true. There's no getting around that. I didn't know Jews were humorous. What do you mean?
Well, a few of them made it. And
who ever heard of it?
And then you got these other guys, I'm not naming any names, Rudy.
Diminutive Catholic dudes.
Yeah, it's not right.
I would give anything to be a Jew. Oh, I would.
You can.
Right.
But I don't want to work for it.
I'm just saying. You don't seem like the studious type.
No, I'm more of a. I'm just going to start claiming that I'm this. I mean, when I was 13, I thought I was a rapper for about 2 years.
Oh, there you go.
The rapper phase.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Stand-up comedians are not excited about the idea of continued education. I remember I was talking with Brian Miller. We were doing stuff together, and I was like, "Yeah, I think I'm going to go back to school for nursing." He goes, at this age, why would you ever go back to college? He was so upset. He was heartbroken, the idea that I was going to continue in education.
Why would he care about that?
He just why would you put that on? Oh God, why would you pay money to go back? You can learn all this stuff. I go, yeah, but if I want to go into nursing, I have to have a degree. Oh, I don't know about that. He was just completely disgusted.
I would, I'd be a lot more comfortable if the nurse knew something about what they were doing.
That'd be good. That'd be a good thing.
So, Candy, have you ever inserted a tube before into someone's body? No, but I saw a video.
I watched some YouTube videos on it.
Yeah, so it should be fine.
What do you think the world record is for the longest and the heaviest baby? I have no idea.
Do the Google.
I don't know, but I got a lot of emails from women. I got Sarah wrote in, I had 3 C-sections, easy peasy. I'm short, and the day after I got home, I climbed up on the cupboard to reach items on the top shelf. Stacy wrote in, she said her son was 13 pounds, 2 ounces, and he's now 24 and 6'4".
There you go.
And Dennis wrote in saying that, tell Tom he was a twin, but he most likely ate his sibling in the womb. Dennis from Shakopee.
That's what they claim. He's not the first person to tell me that.
Yeah.
I could see that.
That I may have consumed my twin brother.
I feel it every day that you're trying to just...
I absorbed him.
I could see that.
Wasn't there a story about that in the New Testament?
I think so. I'm not sure. I've never read the Bible.
Sounds sort of biblical, doesn't it?
You know, I've never read the Bible. I wonder if I should read it. Is it interesting?
Nah, if you haven't gotten around to it now, spoiler alert, just doesn't go well for most.
Yeah, it's probably true. Probably true.
This is the thing that always puzzles me about the Orthodox Jews, or really Jews in general, but now mostly more the Orthodox Jews is, it's the Torah is the big thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Now the Torah is the first 5 books of the Old Testament.
Yeah.
Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus,
Again,
Numbers,
not an
Deuteronomy.
upper.
So, and so they spend the entire year reading the Torah, and then of course it's like painting the Golden Gate Bridge. Then they just go back
Do it
and
again.
start all over again.
They do. Yep.
It's like 5 chapters of a short book. I don't get it.
Yeah.
And don't you think maybe at some point you might think, maybe we're overthinking this thing a little?
Yeah.
Real quick, do you guys want to take guesses on biggest babies?
I'm going to go 16.3 pounds and 25 inches long.
Okay.
I'm gonna go a little under. I'll do 24.5 inches, and I'm gonna do 15 pounds.
Okay, Mike?
Well, obviously, as a gambler, all I can do is go with 16.4 pounds.
I love it.
Well, if this was The Price is Right, Mike would win. There's 2 different records. The biggest baby ever born, 23 pounds, 9 ounces.
Holy
That's what Go-Go weighs right now.
Yeah, 30 inches long. Unfortunately, that baby only survived for 11 hours.
There you go.
The longest, or the biggest baby to have lived was 22 pounds, 8 ounces.
Jesus. How'd you open the cavern that much?
Oh, Lordy.
How long gestation? Does it say how long? I wonder if it was 40 weeks or longer.
Doesn't give that. So
that would be a great substitute for birth control. Because I can't imagine either of them ever wanting to have sex again after that.
Probably true.
Yeah.
We need to take a break. Be right back. We'll got that final segment coming up right after this.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show.
Why should your business bank with North American Banking Company? Here's Corey Wisco of the Welshire.
We're so grateful for their support and just the fact that they truly believe in what we do. They took the time to get to know us. They have faith in what we do, and it's just been a great partnership that's just always been based on success. They've always had our back every step of the way.
For more information about North American Banking Company, go to nabankco.com. That's nabankco.com. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. There's a guy named Tom Cross who likes to do kite things. Tom takes the phrase, go fly a kite, to an extreme, and for years goes all over the country in search of great kite flying events. Lincoln City, Oregon comes to mind, with Chinook winds and 7 miles of pristine beach that draws folks from all over North America for the best kite flying conditions in the world. Tom brings a little Minnesota with him when he goes to Lincoln City in his new Forest River RV Rockwood Roo, 19 expandable trailer, of course, that he hauls from Niemeyer Trailer Sales in Albertville and Elko New Market, Minnesota. Niemeyer Trailer Sales is the only place Tom would prepare his next kite flight. Solar panels, full bath, exterior griddle, double-door refrigerator, queen beds, and sleeps 6 every night in the RV Rockwood from the place that is your family-owned guide to RV trailers and truck accessories since 1965. This is Tom. Visit my friends at Niemeyer Trailer Sales and take your passion on the road. Niemeyer Trailer Sales. Go to NIEMEYERS.com. Niemeyer Trailer Sales.
When you need someone to listen, a lawyer you know and trust.
If you've never been in an auto accident, it's hard to know what to expect from the insurance adjuster. Here are some tips. 1, if they talk to you about whether or not you should hire a lawyer, it's a good sign that you probably should. 2, it's illegal for them to give you any legal advice. They aren't lawyers, and they aren't licensed to practice law. 3, if they tell you that everyone involved in the accident is at fault, they're wrong. This comes from the belief that you're at fault for just being on the road. That's nonsense and not supported by any law. Finally, remember that friendly adjusters are often just gaining information. They want you to do most of the talking so they can file their report. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. I hope you're never injured in a collision. But if you are, don't sign anything until you've talked to us.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
I was singing along with that jingle. Don't ever cut it off again. I was having fun. Don't bring me
Finally,
down.
he was in a good mood.
I was. I worked myself into a frenzy of a good mood.
9 minutes left in the show, and you've got to. I guess you have a whole other show to do after.
I do indeed, but then I don't have anything the rest of the day. At 11:20 today, I'll be off for the rest of the day. First time it's happened in about 3 months.
Your schedule was pretty bananas yesterday, so I guess we'll give you half the day off.
All right, I'll just head home to it right now then. See you later. Everything is good.
I don't think it works like that.
Okay, Mike, we're going to throw this at you. The most annoying things about sharing a bed. Any ideas?
I would say it's being with another human being.
Okay, well, that's what I wanted to ask you. So you say the worst thing about being in bed, most annoying thing about sharing a bed is being the fact that you're sharing a bed.
Right, yeah.
Okay. Sleeping in separate beds may be making a comeback. It's something, again, during the work week, I never sleep with Catherine because she goes to bed much later than I do, and I get up much earlier than she does, so it just doesn't work.
Okay, so then during the weekends, you guys are like, let's sleep in the same bed together?
No, we don't do that anymore.
I was going to say, because I feel like if that was us, and I mean this in the most human way, I'd be like, things are set up. Let's just continue.
No, it's exactly what it is, and we live our lives, and you know. So we're in bed together about 2 minutes a month.
That's very generous of you, sir.
Well, are you lucky?
Boy, that's a lot of time in the sack, man.
There's a marathon over there.
Yeah, let's face it, sleeping in the same bed, it's overrated.
It is overrated. You're right about that. Well, at first, when you're deeply in love, it's very, very important, and I understand
You got
all
to
that.
snuggle and all that stuff.
Indeed. Sleeping in separate beds may be making a comeback. It's something a lot of couples did back in the 50s and 60s. Now a new poll found half the couples today would be open to the idea if it helped them sleep better. If any of these things are an issue, it might help. 2,000 people named the most annoying things about sharing a bed with someone. Let's see if you agree with the top 5.
All right.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
Number 5 is when they've got lights on and you're trying to sleep. Well, of course, if you got lights on, no, it's not going to work. I have this problem much more than Catherine does because she does not. When people won't stop snoring, apparently I do snore, and I don't know that because I'm asleep.
Yeah.
But Catherine tells me I do. She does not. When we don't have a TV in any of. We have three bedroom joint, and we don't have a TV in any of them.
Yeah, we don't either.
Yeah.
But that was a big deal, like in the 60s and 70s, to have a TV in your bedroom. Boy, that was a very, very big deal.
I have an aunt and uncle that have 2 giant TVs in front of their beds.
Yep.
And they have headphones, like the ones that we wear, the big over-the-ears headphones, and so they can both watch their own shows.
Their own shows.
I was like, when I was younger, I was like, that is the fanciest thing. And now I go, that is bleak.
That's
that
bleak.
Is so sad.
I agree.
Well, and the thing is, you don't need a TV anymore. You just look down at your device.
Yes, it's
Yeah,
true.
well, that's what everybody else does. You're right about that. When they fall asleep with the TV on. Number 2 is when their tossing and turning wakes you up.
Well, I can't imagine that.
I do a lot of that. I know. I toss and turn all damn night. I still do to this day, even when I sleep by myself most of the time. Catherine and I really, I guess we're on vacation. We sleep together. That's about the only time we do sleep in the same bed now. Because you check into a hotel. Unless you'd have to get your own room, I suppose.
Yeah.
And then finally it says when they steal the covers.
Oh, well, of course.
How do you steal covers?
Well, because
you got
you
your
just kind
half.
of keep tugging them,
Oh, keep pulling them over as you sleep?
Here's the problem I have. The negative part about sleeping by yourself is that you tend to think about sex a lot.
Yeah, that's probably true.
You don't have that problem if you're sleeping with your wife.
You got to get busy cuffing the
or
carrot.
Or spouse, I should say spouse.
The spouse,
that's
yes.
what I meant to say.
Much better, Mike. You're just not including a lot of people. Way to go.
Waking up.
Well, that was my solipsistic tendency.
I love that. That's all I have to tell you, Buster, is I love that. There's no question about it.
I think Justin would be more likely to sleeping in separate beds. I like sleeping in a bed with him, but we also have gotten to a point we got the posturpedic bed, so you feel nothing when one of us gets up or goes to sleep. And then I switch to my Kindle, so I don't bug him while I read before I go to bed. And then he does,
I'm a Kindle guy at night.
Yeah, I think that's nice because you don't have to have the lamp on. But I see the appeal, but I still am in that point of going, I like sleeping with Justin at this moment, but I change my mind daily, so.
I understand. I just saw this headline. I have no idea what the hell it's all about, but I often wonder, how much money would you have to do this? There's a picture of Ben Affleck and J-Lo. Apparently, they're not married again, are they? Just back together?
No, they're married.
Oh, they got married again. Yep. Okay. Did you see the house they bought?
No.
$61 million. Why would you ever spend $61 million on a house? I don't care if you're a billionaire. Why would you do that?
How does a house become worth that much?
That's what I'm wondering. I couldn't agree with you more. It says, when nature calls, what the hell? What? I don't understand where that comes from. When nature calls, it's good to know your new home at their home. 2 people live in this home. It has 24 bathrooms.
I feel bad for J-Lo because you can just imagine, Ben's off to work and then she's there cleaning the 24 bathrooms.
Yes, exactly.
I know.
That's not right.
It's not right. They don't have any. I thought they had some small kiddos with them.
Or do they now? We're not sure if that feature is what ultimately sold Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck on their new $61 million mansion, but it's the one the Daily Mail homes in on, in all the caps on its description of the residence in the Wallingford Estates neighborhood of Beverly Hills. The Wall Street Journal first reported on the power couple's latest acquisition. The house is 38,000 square feet.
Well, that should be enough, yeah.
Should be. Sets on 5 acres, 12 bedrooms, room for a dozen cars in the garage, an entire sports complex, complete with gym, boxing ring, and basketball and pickleball courts.
Of course.
So that's the only reason you'd buy a house like that is to show it off to everybody else, right?
Just imagine the grandiosity.
Yeah.
That requires you to have something like that.
I agree. There is no way, I don't give a rat's ass how much money I had, I would ever buy a house for $61 million.
Unless you were with somebody that you genuinely don't like.
Yeah, stay away from them.
Yeah.
That's true.
And
Good point.
I don't think Affleck likes J-Lo all that much. You see those two out.
Weird. Yeah.
There's a lot of photos of them when one of them looks angry, or they'll be at a basketball game and she'll lean in and say something, and then the look on her face, she kind of has like a sourpuss on her mouth, and then she moves over, and then Affleck looks annoyed, and they look like they are two people that should not be married.
I think he does not like those events at all.
Yeah.
And I have a husband who's like that would probably be fine just never going to any events and would be very happy with that. And I think he just really lets it show. I think he is Mr. I'd rather be home. He doesn't want to go to the Oscars. He doesn't want to go to the Grammys. And I think every time they go out, it's kind of like, can we come home? Can we go home?
Yeah. But the great thing now, imagine you're Ben Affleck, and you're not thrilled with the marriage, but you just hire a couple more nannies.
Yeah, well, that's exactly
right.
That's
true.
Mm-hmm. That's the way it works. If I bought a house for $61 million, I wouldn't have that much left over for groceries.
Oh, that would be nerve-wracking to have to budget after that.
Oh my God, we got to close with this one because it's getting worse by the day. This is getting so embarrassing to be alive right now. It just is. Chick-fil-A is under fire, and you know why they're under fire?
Why?
Probably because they're becoming centrists.
That's exactly the case. Critics learned the chain has an exec in charge of diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Oh, boy.
They're big time under fire from the far right. Between the far right and the far left, could you just destroy the entire country?
Yeah,
could you do that?
We're working on it, Tom.
Honest to God.
It doesn't happen overnight.
It's a chicken sandwich.
I know. Well,
why do you care?
Well, this is what we've talked about. It's the politicization. I can't say that.
Everything.
Of everything, and now it's even what you eat. Don't politicize my goddamn food.
A chicken sandwich.
It's exhausting when you start getting too involved in that, and you go, do I have to Google everything? Before I get gas, should I look?
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to know. I just want to eat and buy things and pick quality items and live my life.
And I can't even have a Burger King hamburger anymore because I'm against monarchy.
Oh, it's the king. You don't need that
No,
king
I don't
bullshit.
need that. That's
You're
not
absolutely
for me.
right.
And you were eating so many of them prior to that.
Yeah, it was nonstop.
Are you kidding me?
And my hatred for big hats, makes me. I can't eat at Arby's now because of it.
Is it a big hat?
Son of a bitch.
I feel bad for you.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, I went to Burger King and I said, I can have it my way. So I just said, take everything out except the pickle.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just say this in closing. I don't really give a rat's ass about diversity, equity, inclusion. That's what you want to do, good for you. I'm here for the chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
Who cares? Try not to treat people like shit,
That'd be great
and we'd all live a lot better.
Be great on the tombstone. He was here for the chicken sandwich.
Yeah, what's wrong? There's nothing wrong with that.
No, nothing wrong.
I mean, all of this stuff we're fighting over, all these little things now. It's like, shut up.
They're
for
not
Christ's
real.
sake.
They're just not real.
I agree.
Were the chickens treated ethically, though? That's
Yeah,
what I
were
wanna
they?
know. Mhm.
Did you give them a name?
Well, I did do a remote once from the turkey farm. I don't know if you remember that.
I do remember
the turkey
that.
farm. It was
Yep.
out in it was like Delano, I think.
I believe.
And I can tell you this much: these turkeys were not treated ethically.
I can't even. I
It
get
shocked
sad. I
me.
get weirdly sad about this stuff. Yeah.
Let's go have a turkey sandwich.
I
right
remember
now.
I said to the guy, it's getting a little crowded in there, I can see, but is it okay that the turkeys are eating a dead turkey? And he said, just pretend you didn't see that.
So what?
Okay,
I never even heard of that.
Well, it's what was happening.
Jesus,
there was a
ish.
dead turkey in there, and when you see a dead turkey, what are you thinking? You're thinking about the trimmings, right?
Yeah.
You're thinking
true.
about basting it. So
Yeah.
why should the turkeys be any different?
I guess.
You're right. When you're right, you're right. All right. That's going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. We got to go. I got to go get pissed off about something I don't want to even be involved in. What do you think?
He'll be back with the family in 15 minutes.
You got it, homie.